Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the U.S. National Aerobatic Championships 2025, brought to you by Extra, Aura Aero, Game Aerospace, MX Aircraft Company, Northwest Insurance Group, and American Champion Aircraft Corporation. I'm Rob Dumovic with Spread Aviation.
And I'm Jeff Granger from Pilot Makers Advanced Flight Academy in Provo, Utah.
And we're out here in a soybean field this morning in anticipation of the sun rising and our intermediate competitors flying the unknown sequence. And right now we've got Dr. Joe McMurray up flying the low lines in front of the judges. We've still got the graphic up, but that's okay. We're just getting set up, get our tables out.
Okay, is that Joe or is that Jared Bixenman in the...
It was really quiet, so it could be either one. I thought I saw a plan form of the Gamebird.
We'll see. That 300L has a 4-blade prop. Very quiet.
Yeah, but it's only got a 540 cubic inch engine instead of a 580, so maybe the difference in noise was that.
Thanks. So what's the purpose of the low lines?
Low lines calibrate the judge's eyes to the bottom of the box, making sure that the safety of the sport is maintained by giving us the ability to downgrade the competitors should they exit the bottom of the box. Also give the chief judge an opportunity to, if they see a maneuver progressing that would result in penetration of the bottom of the box, that they can knock that competitor off. Call them break before they continue.
So no way to measure the altitude exactly, but at least gives you a sight picture.
Yeah.
I think that's an extra. That's the extra.
Yeah.
He's got his nav lights and his strobe lights on. Probably ought to turn those off before he starts his sequence.
Rule book does say you should have those turned off. It's a penalty if you don't. But
Chief Judge can give him a call about that. Probably the tower wanted him to have those on.
Potentially, yes. We are in a Class Delta airport. Class Delta airspace.
Yes. Although we have the airspace to the west of the field waived for our activity. Basically, it belongs to us, so as long as we conform with the agreement made with the tower. Don't cross the runway.
Absolutely. Yeah, they get very mad if you do that. And that has resulted in previous years doing some really hard pulls here as we progress out of the box to the east at the end of sequences and things. But that also creates for a really nice aggressive pull right in front of the judges some days.
I've been warned off against that. You know, they say don't cross the runway, so you come out on the y-axis and immediately pull up and around on an Immelman. It's like, oh, you did another aerobatic figure. No, I was trying to do what you said and not cross the runway.
Yeah. I made a pretty aggressive dive out of the box yesterday after the after the unknown, but it was as we were told to do, exit to the north 1,000 feet, and I was already facing south at 2,500. I just let her come downhill in a steep bank, power idle, and exit to the north 1,000 feet, deconflict from all the traffic, anybody coming inbound or in the hold or anything like that. Join right on the downwind.
We are out here a lot earlier than we were yesterday. They were pulling the planes out before dawn. Got some nice pictures. Sun's coming up behind us. A little rain overnight, a little moist out here in the field. Fortunately not muddy. Winds are very light. Nice change from yesterday, although they're supposed to pick up later in the day.
Yeah, folks were a bit concerned after last year, especially with all the mud that was out in the field. With the little bit of rain we got last night, they thought it might return to that condition, but now this ground just soaked it right up. And we're just out here in the mowed down soybean field and ready to watch some fun aerobatics.
So you say that we're men outstanding in our field?
Well, okay. I'm sitting. I don't know.
All right. So this is the third and final flight for intermediate. Intermediate flies 3 flights.
Yeah, this is going to wrap up their 2025 Nationals. All these competitors have worked all year to get to this position, and this is not the first time that many of them have ever flown an unknown, so hopefully the nerves and things have abated to a point where they can be comfortable and go out there and perform at the highest levels for their category.
So the unknown was distributed yesterday, and I had dinner last night with a couple of the intermediate competitors. They're all studying this unknown. Can they get up and practice it?
Yeah, can't practice it. You must be issued the unknown no less than 12 hours prior to flying it. Not allowed to practice it, and these competitors got it at about 5 p.m. last night after the intermediate category wrapped up after that long weather delay.
So they can walk through it on the ramp. Some of the competitors have taken tape or chalk and marked out a box on the ramp. They walk through it with their hand, or maybe a little model. Maybe they have a coach or maybe a fellow competitor that's a training buddy, and they walk through it and try to analyze it, figure out where the tricky turns are.
Yeah, and looking at this sequence here, I don't want to say it looks pretty straightforward because that's a biased view from an advanced competitor, but there are a handful of gotchas here. We're going to need to make sure that all the points get flown on these point rolls. Figure 2, figure 5, and figure 9 have a significant amount of point rolls, and directionality to at least figure 11 is going to be important. Figure 11 and figure 8, the inverted turn and the upright roller.
And the turns on the vertical line. Here he comes. He's done the wing wag. First figure in the right or center box is a 45 entry into a hammer. There's a 45 line, then a pull to the vertical. There is some wind aloft in the box. You can see. Our oral surgeon from San Jose, flying his Game Composites GB1 Game Bird. This is a new American built.
Yeah, and Joe is at his first nationals, so his first unknown in Salina.
Yes.
but hopefully not his last. He is a very prolific member. I don't know. My word power this morning is not as good. He is a
very involved member.
Staunch proponent. Let's see here. He is very involved. Yeah. Is he the president of his chapter, or?
That I don't know, but he is involved in a lot of aviation outreach events in his chapter. He's been loving this game bird that he's had now for about 2 years, and probably has put at least 350 hours on it since purchase.
Yeah. I believe he's also been involved in organizing a food truck.
Yes.
Plus
food truck
aerobatic
fly-in.
practice day.
Yeah, food truck fly-in. And he's on base. So on the base leg into the box, the only aerobatic maneuvers that are allowed outside of the aerobatic box is the 2-point roll on the base leg. This is a chance to check, make sure your inverted fuel and oil system is working correctly, check for any FOD in the cockpit, check, make sure your belts are tight, and gets you all prepped for coming into the box.
All right, excellent. And scanning the skies.
Yeah.
Looks like he's on final. There's a wing wag.
Nice salute to the judges.
Absolutely. Traditionally, you do 3. Minimum is 1. And Joe comes into the box here. Everybody flying the same sequence for the unknown. He'll pull to a 45 and then pull vertical for a hammerhead. Just past center box, 45 up. You can draw that line as long or as short as you want. You just have to show a line. Now pull to the vertical. I would call that a long line followed by an even longer line, and that's the power of the game bird GB1. Really going uphill. No increase or decrease in points for that as long as you hold the line. Half roll, and now pull exit left for a wedge with a 2-4 on the down. So vertical. Again, this line length be as long or as short as you want it, depending on your energy needs, wind conditions. And now 2-4, count the points. 1, 2, maintaining the angle and trying to make the same line length afterwards, back to level, and half loop up, half roll on top, Emiliano. Let the airplane accelerate here. You got wind in your face, ground speed is low, you got more time in the box to get up to whatever ideal snap speed you want. Joe liked the speed he had, so he does the snap. Now we hear a power change, as he does not want to let that speed accelerate anymore for this 2-4 and the half loop down. You're going to be gaining a lot of energy on this down loop, so you don't want to start with a lot. Completing the half loop down, figure 6, the Humpty with a quarter roll on the up. Joe puts the wheels into the box. Pull Humpty onto the Y. Wind really moving him to the right side of the box there. And more verticality, no ability to correct for that wind at this point. But he should come off this line and do the inverted 90-degree turn into the wind before exiting the box. So right on the edge, using 100% of that box and turning the aircraft inverted back into the wind. Now he's got a long drive, followed by a 45 down with a 2-4 on the down. Put this wherever you want. Drive into the wind, but a lot of speed can be gained on this, so there is a bit of a tactic here. Pull into the vertical in the bow tie. Now he's going to pull back to the 45 down for a half roll to upright. This is right center box. Half roll upright. Pull, exit right end of figure. Now he's on the right hand side of the box doing a hammerhead with a quarter roll on the up. No ability to compensate for the wind here. And he rolls it to the left. Going to be pivoting to the left. That's a downwind kick. Going to blow him even further out to the north side, and exiting onto the Y for a roller. He's got a really good look at the box here. Can see exactly where he is as he commences the roller. The roller is another one which you don't really want a ton of speed for, because it increases the forces on your body in the maneuver. But coming out of a hammerhead, you're coming downhill, building a lot of speed. So that's another tricky spot of this sequence.
And very nice.
Speed can hurt. So figures 5, figure 9, figure 11, you want to control your energy on.
I think he did get blown downwind more than the previous competitor. So there's a lot of wind up there. You wouldn't think from down here, that's barely perceptible.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to look at the soybean stocks, and they're not really moving. I'm barely feeling anything, just on the body. But
okay.
Up aloft, there's definitely.
Do we have any questions on the chat yet? Just did some good morning
continuing our tour. Jamerson, welcome back.
Yeah, and in between sequences, we can answer questions. General questions about aerobatics and aerobatic competition, questions about aerobatic aircraft and training, questions about aviation in general, whatever you're interested in. We do need to fill the time between the sequences. It's not all about just the sequences. Who's coming up next?
Did you compete in intermediate?
Yes, I did. In fact, I have 3 regional trophies in intermediate in the Mid-America region.
Very good.
I also competed a couple years in advanced, but didn't gain any regional trophies. I'd have to look back through my box of dusty trophies. I might have a few individual awards in advanced, but not a regional award.
I do have a couple of 3rd places in advanced, and a regional championship, or a 2nd place regional championship series, which the awards program for the IAC I think is really nice. You have your contest awards, you have 1st, 2nd, 3rd flights, 1st, 2nd, 3rd place for the contest. You have grassroots award, which is airplanes less than 200 horsepower. You have American champion highest scoring and Pitt's highest scoring awards. So there's opportunities for all kinds of medals as we watch our next competitor, Pete Muntean, dive into the box.
Speaking of American champion, this is the one and only American champion super decathlon in this category. So Pete's starting out with the 45 entry hammer. You see that he's not drawing as long lines as the game bird, of course, but again, that's not a judging criteria. It's the correctness of the line, not the length. So it makes it possible for somebody in a relatively less powerful aircraft to still win a prize. I've seen people win top awards in Sportsman in a clip-wing Cub.
Yep.
Coming to figure number 2, the wedge. Line up, again, nice line, length not judged. Set the 45 line, and a 2 of 4. Pause on the knife edge, and out, continue the same line. That's what the judges are looking for. Figure 3 is the Immelman, the classic combat evasive maneuver, half loop up, and a half roll off the top. You can see he's taken up a lot less of the box than that zippy game bird. Here's a snap roll. Drive it into the wind, and get your speed down before that split S.
This part of driving in the box with a low performance airplane with a lot of headwind can be unnerving to a pilot of lesser experience than Pete. You feel like, oh, you're going out, but nope, you need to reposition because he's now ripping to the north side of the box.
Pull the vertical feet in the direction that you want to go, because this is a loop, a hesitation loop. This view gives you a good picture of whether or not his wings are level with the horizon. Figure 7, the vertical line up, basically a half of a square loop because you're going to finish up inverted. You can see him drifting downwind. Then the 90-degree turn, the wing goes down toward the earth in the direction of the wind.
So notice this will be a left-hand turn in terms of heading. Put the stick to the left, set the bank angle, and push to get that heading to start changing.
All right, now he's got a long way to go into the wind.
Long way to go hanging in the straps. Oh, he went right into it.
He went right into it. He hadn't even passed center box. 2 of 4 on the down line, and then pull around to the vertical. Easy to get anxious and impatient when you're driving into the wind, especially inverted.
Especially inverted.
Okay, now comes the hammerhead. This one again has, like the Humpty, has a roll on the up line, and I like to put my head into the direction of travel. So he wants to finish up going back to the east. He is getting blown downwind out of the box.
And he did hammer into the wind, which will help him a little bit, but it's probably only 50 feet.
Now with the rolling turn, there's some fancy footwork here because in the knife edge, your stick is your rudder. Your elevator becomes your rudder, and your rudder becomes your elevator. But you always got to keep the nose going along the horizon in the correct direction. Use whatever flight control you need to do that.
Yeah, hold that nose up. All right, Pete. Well done. I mean, this is...
it's moving along pretty smoothly.
I don't think the sequence is necessarily the more challenging part today. It's that wind. That wind is absolutely ripping, probably 30 knots. Like now that I'm watching how much it moved Pete and Joe.
At altitude.
At altitude, and down here, it's nothing.
It's nothing. Okay,
Good morning, Glenn Becker. Thanks for joining us. Glenn Becker, longtime pits driver, competitor in the Northeast, good buddy of mine.
Yeah, good. Nice to have that shout out. Any friends of mine that are listening, give us a shout out.
What time zone are you in Utah?
In Mountain. So
Mountain
just
time?
1 hour.
1 hour?
So it is, yeah, it is early there. Not quite 7 a.m. Not sure if my wife is up yet or not.
So for you, it's early. For me, it's late.
Much later.
So I'm
So
East Coast time.
Your friends are already up. All right, next one up is James Spaller in a Pitts Special S2B, the first biplane of the morning. Pitts Special.
James, yesterday,
Yes.
I raved about his flight. I thought he did outstanding. I went up and found him after we were done, and I shook his hand and I said, James, that was awesome. That was awesome.
How did he score?
I have no idea. To
But
me,
you liked it.
me, it didn't matter. For me, it was tens.
Okay, unfortunately, we're not grading judges.
No, we are not.
In fact, we have to be careful.
We should have A-forms out here, and we should just be writing stuff down on our own to give the guys. Be like, hey, here's the only score that really matters.
Here's what I thought. Unfortunately, we have to comment, but not judge.
Yes.
We are,
even though we are both national judges.
We are positioned well away from the judging line, so they can't hear.
I'm loud enough, I bet they still hear me.
Maybe they do. All right, I hear that Lycoming engine winding up. He's on the base leg. He's on the final now. There's the wing wag.
All right, so Jim's wing wagging into the box here, setting up. Hopefully he's got a good read on the wind as he sets up for figure 1, 45, hammer. Right in front of the judges, pulls to a 45, nice line length, pulls vertical, and now the wind is just absolutely dominating. It might be a good tactic to just hold that 45 longer so you drive into the wind and then do that pivot. Following that up with a half roll, going to pull back into the wind. Hopefully James got a really good look at the box and his positioning there. And is setting up to position this on the left edge. She's just a bit left to center here. Pulling over for the wedge, 45 down and a 204 on the down. 1, 2. And pull level, half loop up. Half roll on top. There we go. Now we're setting up for the snap roll. And driving that, a lot of patience there. Really nice. Center box now. Kick stick, let it rip. Nice snap roll. Now the power comes back. Don't let the airplane accelerate too bad. 204. Far left side of the box. Well done. Repositioning now quick into 6. Hopefully center box, right center. That's how much that wind is moving. That's amazing. You're easily going from 60 knots ground speed to 180 knots ground speed from the start of figure 5 to the end of figure 5. That's a lot. That's a big change. Quarter roll onto the Y after the pull Humpty. Looks good there. Taking it away from the judge's pull vertical. Now this pull's half square loop will set up for the 90 degree, which hopefully he will take to the right. This is a directional side of things. Might be thinking about it a little bit. Rolls and pushes. Now being upside down, you can look up, which is actually at the ground as you're hanging in your straps.
Look up, see down.
Yeah, up, see down. And right into figure 9. Not quite sure what was going on there. Maybe I missed something.
He's in inverted.
Yeah, he might have just. Might have just overturned.
Yeah, he's climbing.
He's climbing
figures.
now.
Oh,
so okay, all right. So he was climbing, trying to drive in the box. Tough to see the performance of the aircraft when you're in it. And he's upright. Okay, he's still going. Had a bit of a hesitation there on the bottom. Might be disorienting being upside down. This is a complicated figure. and a half roll upright. Positioning in the box is good, though. All right, so he put it where he wanted it.
What about climbing in the box? Is
Well,
that
that's
climbing between figures?
Yeah, what is
allowed?
it, a point every 50 feet?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's up to the judges to determine whether he climbed and or descended in there, and whether they want to apply a downgrade. But if you see a deviation, you should definitely, as a scoring judge, you should definitely count that.
Some sort of deficit.
Yes. And now he sets up for the roller. 90-degree roller, one to the inside, right center box.
And done.
Figure end of sequence for Jim Spaller.
Shout out.
Aerobatics, good to see you.
And that was Jim Spaller. Coming up next is Sean Tucker. Sean D. Tucker, one of the best known air show pilots ever.
SDT.
How many years was he doing air shows?
A lot.
40 years? 40 years. He flew the Oracle biplane, which is now in the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in his mid-70s now, and he decided, after retiring from his lengthy and prestigious air show career, to get back into competition. He's competing at the intermediate level in the Gamebird GB1. And I believe he's in first or second place.
I didn't see the scores after yesterday.
Yeah, he's doing exceptionally well, not surprising. He knows how to fly the plane, and although he hadn't competed for many years, getting back into competition should be pretty straightforward.
I can't imagine that he's not used to high-pressure situations in an aerobatic airplane, and I could see the flying of an airplane in all attitudes for him would be second nature at this point.
He's also doing some coaching and getting out on the judging line. He has a couple of proteges that he's coaching, and he's very accessible.
Marcus and a glider.
Marcus and a glider.
Marcus and a glider. I see a glider coming up on tow. And Marcus.
He was commentating too, I believe.
Yes. Marcus Rosenthal. So this is a primary glider.
Pink sheet.
Pink sheet. Primary does not do an unknown. They just do their known program times 3, time permitting, and it's a good way to start into competition, get into primary without complicating things too much with a free program or an unknown program. Looks like the glider's off tow and is heading into the wind. They do go kind of slow coming into the wind in the training gliders. This is probably a DG 1000. It's a training glider. It is aerobatic. Barely so, huh?
Well, anything can be rolled.
You can roll a Boeing 707.
Thank you, Tex, for showing us that.
Yeah.
1G is 1G.
I heard about some guys during the...
Oh, it's parked. It is absolutely parked. It's not moving.
And is that a DG or a Fox?
That's a DG.
That's a DG.
Big, long wings.
His ground speed is about 0.
Yeah, maybe 5.
Maybe 5 knots. Tractor speed. But once he gets into the box, his first figure is a downline. We call it a 45 downline, but in gliders in this category, it'll be a 30-degree downline. That gets him his speed, and then he will pull up for figure 2, which is a quarter clover. So this is a loop in which a quarter roll is integrated into the first half of the loop. Starting about now.
Yeah,
and he's taking it to the west. So he should be wings level by the time he gets to the top of the loop. And now the roll stops, and he just completes a half loop. This takes him back to the east. Ah, the sun's finally coming up. It feels good. Figure 3 is a 270-degree turn. He wants to exit downwind. That's to the north. So he starts the turn to the south. Turns 3 times 90 degrees.
270.
Yeah. Well, I think
this wasn't a math quiz?
All turns are well, they're 90.
Yeah. There are combinations of 90.
Combinations of 90. There's no 135-degree turns. Now he's doing the slow roll, downwind. Figure 5 on the downwind side of the box is a wing over. So he pulls up smoothly and turns, and we should see him at a 90-degree bank at the 90-degree turn point, almost invisible to us from this angle, and then comes back around smoothly to the reciprocal heading. Now he's going to have to drive a long time into the wind to get the final figure, which is a loop, placed in the center box.
I believe he has plenty of altitude to sacrifice that to maintain his speed that he needs for the loop entry to get all the way back to the center box.
So,
that wind just really moved him from the south to the north on figure 4. And not his fault, that's just the conditions and the time it takes to roll one of these gliders. They moved a long way in the box.
Coming back into center box, and if I was judging this, I would put the point of my pen right where the pitch change starts. See if he can come back to that. Loops have to be wind corrected, and you can see how he was blown back during the first half of the loop.
I wouldn't float that top part at all today.
No.
I'd be floating right here.
It helps him on the backside. So I think he came back to the same altitude, but
that was really well done. That was really well done. That loop.
For a primary, yeah.
Oh. And the patience to put it where Marcus wanted it. It was absolutely perfectly placed. Working against the wind. Great patience. Very well done, Marcus.
Oh, too bad that you don't have a Form A to judge.
I don't have a... What? No, you're right. Yeah, but 10 on presentation. Well done.
They're interleaving the gliders into the power because they have 2 tow planes, so it's not an all glider contest. With 2 tow planes, they can usually get a glider between every second or third power flight.
As fast as you can launch them.
As fast as you can launch them. Next power competitor coming up is going to be Sean Tucker, right? Previously mentioned. Sean Tucker. I'll let you call. Oh, is it another glider?
Another glider?
Oh, we're hearing from the judges line.
Oh.
We're not close to the judges line to hear all of his call-outs. We'll just have to wait and see what shows up next. I do not see a glider on tow, but we will find out. If it is a glider next, it would be Zachary Paluch in the MDM Fox. So the MDM Fox is an aerobatic glider, not less of a sailplane, more of an aerobatic or performance glider, as I understand. Anybody out there listening on the live stream, if you know anything about the comparison between the Fox and the DG, please give us some comments that we can add. But he will be flying the intermediate, I assume. Let me look at the intermediate glider.
Primary.
Correction? Primary. All right, I've been corrected. It is primary. We do have a couple of intermediate gliders.
I finally, it's like gorillas in the mist or something. The sailplane and the tow plane are invisible, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're there in the sky.
Okay, well, we got 2 gliders in a row.
I think it matters as to whether Forrest is pointing the camera at them as to whether they can be seen. You know, these things don't exist. It's Schrodinger's cat. It doesn't exist until you observe it.
Okay.
Schrodinger's glider. So the glider's off tow, diving in the box. We have some wing wags here as they get set up.
Well, this will be a nice counterpoint. We'll see the primary sequence twice in quick succession with 2 different gliders.
Yeah.
With different performance.
This one definitely isn't parked in the sky, so it's flying a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. And we're getting ready for the push down for the 45 for figure 1. There it is. There's the 30-degree dive angle and building speed that they need to get into the wing over. A looping portion with a quarter roll on the up. They're taking it to the left. That's just going to put them towards the judges, and they'll exit onto the Y. Same direction for the 270-degree turn. Easy to take this into the wind. And it looks like they've decided to go to the right, which may be detrimental to their scores.
That's going to be a problem.
Now they're going to exit onto the X-axis in the right to left direction when they want to be going left to right.
Unfortunately, if you turn in the wrong direction on the X-axis, the figure will be a 0.
Yeah, so there's a hard 0 for
any
figure
subsequent
3.
figure.
And another for figure 4. They did the slow roll on the wrong axis. Now figure 5, they're going for the wing over. It's a shame. It was a really good looking slow roll.
It was.
And we've got a nice wing over here. Wings are knife edge at the 90-degree point, coming back through 180 degrees.
Now, what does he do if he realizes right now that he's flying in the wrong direction?
Well, he can make a 180-degree turn, which will be an implicit brake, but it's less of a penalty than taking a hard 0. Get it onto the correct axis and then do the loop. Unfortunately, he didn't take that option. And now we're into the loop, a pretty nicely flown loop. and now exiting the box to the north and wing wagon out.
And that was Zach Paluch.
Raise your hand if you've done that in your competing history. My hand's up.
My hand's up.
Well, yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, you turned in the wrong direction, and you may end up zeroing not just the figure in progress, but subsequent figures.
Yeah, yeah.
The x-axis is directional.
Absolutely.
At the time of the briefing, they determine the wind direction. The starter is going to brief the pilot on the wind direction, confirm that they have the proper sequence card, B or C. We're working off the C form today, which means the wind is from the judge's left, and everything on the x-axis has to be flown in that orientation. Y-axis, not so much, but the x-axis, yes. So it's heartbreaking to see a competitor turn in the wrong direction and zero not only that figure, but subsequent figures.
Artur is giving us the stats in the chat for the two gliders. DG is +7 -5 Gs. VNE 282 kilometers per hour versus 270. Fox for 282, DG 270. Fox is the second best airback glider, only behind the Swift. Swift is +10 -7.5. Swift VNE is 287, so a bit more speed there. Swift is much more dominant in glider aerobatics than much like the 330 SC is in power.
Okay, I hear the game bird coming in. This must be Sean.
DJ Molney's in the chat too.
Really?
DJ is one of our officials out here at the competition.
He's asking about the roll rates. Okay, so we got the game bird coming in. He's on the base leg. He's done his wing. No, he's circling.
Nope, he's circling.
Presumably he's been called in by the chief judge. Things are running pretty smoothly. We're not ready for a break yet.
Oh, you had to say it.
No, wait, where's some wood? Give me some knock on wood here. Hey, you're not superstitious, are you?
100%.
I'm not superstitious, but they say it works even if you don't believe in it.
Yes. I believe that luck favors the prepared.
Luck favors.
But don't tempt fate.
Chance definitely favors the prepared mind. And you start out with a big bag of luck, and you hope that you gain judgment and experience before your bag of luck runs out.
Yes, and we were telling some stories in the van on the way here
about bags of luck.
of times that we've used up our bags of luck.
Running. Don't scud run. Yeah, we were talking about judgment and experience, which applies both in aviation and surgery and in other fields. What was the saying? Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment.
Yeah.
The trick is to gain that experience without taking too many risks. I hear the chief judge shouting out wing wag. He's coming in. Here comes Sean D. Tucker in the Game Bird GB1 from the north into the wind. First figure should be in center, slightly to our right, 45 entry hammer.
He's a little bit above the bottom of the box, but he's lap 45 right in front of the judges.
Nice up line, and then drive it. So would you throw with a powerful engine like this, something which is basically a little overpowered for intermediate, would you be throttling back on your up lines and shortening them?
I would fly this whole thing at 2,500 RPM, and based on what I saw the previous competitors do, I would have drawn that 45 out very, very far longer to take it into the wind.
Yeah, right to the upwind side of the box and a vertical, and tip down to the 45 down line, which has a 2 of 4.
Now here on this 204, power would be back, and I'd be putting big pauses in. Full power now, drive it out.
Okay, figure 3, there's the implement. Half loop up, half roll off the top. Distinctive planiform to the GB1, different from the extras. Snap roll is figure 4. There must be some wind on the judges because he is starting to drift overhead.
Now here the power would be way back.
Way back.
But the GB has a very, very high VNE and a lot of capability, so you're only hurting yourself with G.
Okay. All right, the vertical, stick your feet into the box. I think I would have taken that the other way.
That's all right. He now sees where he is in the box, sees he's vertical down, see what he does with it.
He's coming over the judge's head, vertical line, layout inverted. Now drive this away from the judges so they can get a better sight picture.
Go. Don't turn. Don't turn.
Wait.
Don't turn.
Wait.
Go.
Oh, he turned.
All right.
Can't hear you down here.
It's a bold choice. See how it plays out for him.
All right. Now the bow tie, 45-degree down line, 2 of 4, pull to vertical. And no point rolls on this line, just a straight half roll.
Wow, that radius was huge. That wind is so strong.
He did a point roll, didn't he?
He did a point roll.
All right, pull to vertical and roll to your heads into the box. There you go. And then the pivot.
Okay, hammer exiting Y.
And now just the
roller.
90-degree roller.
91 to the inside.
90 degree, 1 roll to the inside, and done. And the figure into sequence.
Okay.
That was Sean Tucker. So what happens, Rob, if the sequence card calls for a point roll and you do a smooth roll?
Well, if the judges catch it, you're going to get scored as a hard 0. If a majority of the judges scored as a hard 0, that figure gets zeroed. If not a majority, then you average the remaining scores. But the judges could also write VR in the remarks section and call for a video review, which will cause them to come over here after the competitors, after the category is complete, and they'll look at the video that Forrest has put together, and they'll look to see if it was a complete roll or a point roll, and that will then determine what scores get applied to the competitor for that figure.
And the same applies if it was a smooth roll and you put points in.
Absolutely.
Right. And what's the difference between a hard 0 and just getting a regular 0? I studied mathematics. I thought the 0 was a 0 was a 0.
So a hard 0, if it is not given by a majority of the judges, will be averaged. Whereas if a competitor has total downgrades on their figure, totaling 10 points, so the competitor gets issued 0.0 from that individual judge, then they lose all those points from that judge, but another judge may have given a 7, another judge may have given a 2, and another judge may have given a 4, but that 0.0 hurts you worse than if one judge had only given you a hard 0 and everybody else had scored you. So it's the hard 0 was instituted, I believe, in, 2019, maybe 2017, somewhere around there.
I don't remember.
And it's actually a favorable score compared to a 0.0, because a 0.0 always hurts you. A hard 0 only hurts you if a majority of the judges give you a hard 0.
So if you think you didn't see the points, just put a hard 0 in, and if everybody else did, it doesn't hurt them.
Yes.
Then your score is averaged.
I got a hard 0 and a 0.0 on a figure yesterday, and the hard 0 didn't hurt me at all. The 0.0 crushed me on that figure.
Hurt you a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Ryusei Arimura, a young man from Japan who is flying Jared Bixenman's 300L with Jared as a safety pilot.
He has wing wagged over the box, done the 45, and is into the hammer just right of the judges, driving that 300 LP vertically, getting blown by the wind off to the north, doing the hammerhead pivot and the half roll. He has a really good look at where he is in the box right now, and nice long line length there, so he's going to have a ton of speed. Let's hope he takes this up to the edge of the box. And it looks like he's flying level. Really good call there. Hard thing is they're looking left out of that cockpit, and they're looking right into the sun. There's really no features to the west, to the right to look at. It's fields and fields and fields with some mountains in the distance. Really tough to tell your positioning, especially from the front seat of the extra, where looking left and down at the ground just is blocked completely by the wing. Showing a nice set of points there on the 2 of 4. Now the half loop up with a half roll on top, colloquially known as the Immelman. Now he's getting ready for the full snap. There we go. Nice snap. And right center box, right on top of the judges. He goes for the 204 for the half loop down. Relaxed G on this entry, which is great. Helps you make a radius. Now a hard pull here as you get into the tailwind. Nice radius there, really nice. Pull into the vertical with a quarter roll on the up. So if he goes left, Nope, he went right. So he's going to pull towards the judges, pull towards the edge of the box. That may work out for him, actually, in the long run, because it's not going to move him that far in the box. But it will take him away on the y-axis, which, being up on the front line, yeah, you need to go away at this point.
Yes, I think there's more wind from the west developing at altitude.
Yeah, we're starting to get a non-judge wind. I agree with you. Okay, half square loop up. Nicely flown there. Now this is going to drive him right back towards the front of the box for the 90-degree inverted turn. Okay, now let's see if he does a cross-country inverted or if he goes right into it. He's way right of the judges now.
They get impatient. He should not drop this until he gets past the midpoint of the box.
Yeah, should go left side, and he's not quite to center box. He's dropped the nose, doing the 204. I didn't hear a power change. Maybe he still has it down. He's going to bring it up. Nice, easy pull there, making a radius into the wind. And now we get a more aggressive pull, but also your slow speed. So we're looking for a half roll here. No points. No points. Well flown. Pulling back to level for the hammerhead with a quarter roll on the up. I like to do these rolls so that I can hammer into the wind. Looks like he's done that exactly as described. Now he's going to kick the left rudder into the wind. Yeah, there's a lot of wind up there. That moved him even throughout the pivot. Not as bad as if he had gone to the right, though. And now the 90-degree one to the inside roller.
He is coming off behind the judges now.
Yeah, he's even over our heads here, and we are a good 250 feet behind the judges. So he's flirting with the runway side of things, but well flown, decently positioned flight by Ryusei Arimura. Well done, and you got quite the cheering section here in the chat. Thank you everybody for, let's see, maybe not too much past their bedtime, but what is Japan?
What time in Japan?
12 or 13 hours ahead of us?
It's about 12 hours.
Yeah.
So that's quite different. But he's got a cheering section.
Absolutely, and we're grateful for the people that are watching the live stream here. It's brought to you by Extra, Aura Aero, Game Aerospace, MX Aircraft Company, Northwest Insurance Company, and the American Champion Aircraft Corporation.
All right, so what's next, power or glider? I don't see any gliders on tow.
I got a Steve Fiegel on the order of flight for right now, and Forrest seems to have more information than we do in general. He gets it faster than the rest of us.
All right, so Steve Fiegel is flying the new Aura Aero Integral R, exciting new airplane coming out of France. Been watching the development of this aircraft for the past 4 years since I first met the Aura Aero people at Oshkosh. The design rationale is everybody in France that does aerobatics apparently loves the old Cap 10B that was made by Avions Moudry. It's a low wing tail wheel aircraft made of wood. Great aerobatic trainer, one of the few side-by-side seating aerobatic trainers. But as they say, they ain't making them anymore. And Aura Aero is a new startup that's manufacturing this line of aircraft. Basically, they're making 3 aircraft in the same plan. The Integral R, which is aerobatic, what they call a school airplane, which is a non-aerobatic with tricycle gear, and an electric version. This is made of wood and composite construction. This is the first one flying in the United States, flown by their demonstrator pilot, Steve Fiegel. There's the wing wag. He's coming in for figure 1, which is the 45 entry hammer. Should be positioned close to the center box. Pull into the 45, draw a nice 45 line, show it to the judges, transition to the vertical line, and then the hammerhead pivot. And we're looking right on his knife edge, so we would be able to see any torquing onto the back if it happened. And he sets the down line. There's a half roll, should be centered between the pivot and the pitch change, and then out to the left into the wind. Drive it into the wind, and we do have a strong wind down the box, down the x-axis. Right up against the upwind side of the box, we have the wedge. Pull to vertical, and nothing on the up line. Then tip down to the 45 down line, and this has a 2 of 4, a point roll. Has to be a point roll. If you don't make the points, you're going to be zeroed. Then downwind for figure 3, the Immelman. Half loop up, half roll off the top. keeping it nice and tight in the center of the box.
This is very nicely centered.
And we want to, right in the center of the box, do a classic positive snap roll. And wings level. Drive it into the box. Got to reduce the power to get ready for the split S. That begins with a 2 of 4. And then the half loop down. I hear the power coming back. Power comes back in. Pull Humpty in the center box. Put your feet in the direction of travel on the quarter roll. That will bring him towards us. You see him drifting downwind. Is not wind corrected though, does not need to be. There's a vertical line, then he comes toward the judges. Figure 7 is a half square loop up. He'll finish up inverted, take him back to the west. This reduces speed, gets him ready for the 90-degree roller, which, as you pointed out, is best done at a reduced speed. Correction, not the roller, but the inverted turn. Back into the wind. Now, it behooves him to drive it, not get impatient. Look up, see down at the center box marker, and don't start this until you've passed the center box marker. There he goes, 45-degree downline with a 2 of 4. Back to upright, power comes back, and pull to the vertical line.
Hear that power change.
Draw that line. Yeah, I heard that prop surging. And on the 45 down line, a simple half roll, no points. Don't put a point in. There you go. Then figure 10, center box, a hammerhead with a quarter roll, and put your head in the direction of travel. That's going to be toward the east. Now we get to see the hammerhead from a different view from the top. Hammer into the wind. It makes it look a lot neater, doesn't it? It's not that you're translating, it's just that it makes it easier to judge. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now the rolling circle. 90-degree turn with a smoothly integrated roll. Finish right on heading. And there is a on box, or on judge wind. You can see it. You can see it
sliding
now.
there.
You can see it now. That was
Steve has trained with the greats, and you can see that the things that he's absorbed from them in their training is on display there. He trained with the late great Rob Holland. He's trained with Michael Coolian.
He's training with the Don, huh?
He's training with the Don.
Cue the Godfather theme, huh? That's a shout out to our friends at the FCS podcast.
The Fly Cool Stuff podcast.
Fly Cool Stuff podcast. Jeff Petrocelli and Mark Pollard. If they're listening, give us a shout out. Nice to see the Arrow competing, yes. I'm hoping to fly it perhaps Saturday morning after the contest is finished before we head back to Utah.
In every one of Jeff Petrocelli's coffee shops, he should have the live stream up.
He should. Petro, get the live stream up on your coffee shop. All right.
The link is in my Instagram stories. Spread Aviation. Follow Spread Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
All right. So the next one coming up is Wayne Forbes. Wayne's from Colorado. He was the contest director for the Torrington, Wyoming contest that I attended earlier this year. Very well-run contest. First time at that location. Nice cowboy theme up there in Wyoming. I was able to take some of our students and instructors from pilot makers up with our decathlon with the extra 300L with my partner Richard's extra NG. We also had our friend Robert come up, not in his extra, but in his twin Cessna, and was able to ferry some of our people back. It was a really nice contest.
All right, well, we're going to take a small break here. Thank you very much for joining us while we're gone. Enjoy some music and post some questions in the chat, and we'll get to those in just a few minutes.
So far, so good, Forrest? 5 seconds, and we're back. Are we back?
Yeah.
We're up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got an intermediate glider, the first intermediate glider. USMC Mech 96, if you're looking for the intermediate unknown sequence for power, you can go to Spread Aviation's Instagram story. I've got that one up there. And I'll put the glider up as well if you're interested in that. But yeah, Spread Aviations, just like spreading apple butter. It's on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Boom. Okay, that's uploading now.
Do we have the glider up yet?
Yes, he's up. Oh, do you mean wagging in?
No, they're so hard to spot.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's glider. Oh,
I
there
know,
he is.
there's a high altitude aircraft there. But I mistook it for the glider. It looks like the glider is coming in.
He's crosswind right now.
Okay, so this is a y-axis entry. That means we usually look for him high and to the right, but instead he's directly ahead of us.
Yeah.
And since he's coming head on, he's a white glider against a light blue sky. Very hard to spot.
Wingwag Social Club, thanks for coming and cheering from the bleachers. Anybody else that wants to come out to Salina, there is a public viewing section. Come on over to Hangar 509. Greg Boravik.
Greg Boravik in the Fox, MDM Fox.
From New York, New York.
I don't think he's started yet. Looks like he's repositioning.
Yes, he's figuring out what the wind is doing,
So,
but he's also off tow, so.
So he will be starting soon.
Yes.
So this is a y-axis entry, meaning he's coming in from the west directly into our face for a hammerhead, which includes a quarter roll on the down line. Okay. Looks like he's repositioning. Or is that the tow plane?
Well, I'm having a really hard time telling.
Right now, looking right at us.
Looking right at us. Okay, so that's tow plane on the right.
It is so, we apologize, it is so hard to spot where these guys are.
Ah, got him up.
Okay.
Okay, pulling vertical for the hammerhead. Nothing up.
Nothing on the upline. There's the pivot, and he'll do a quarter roll on the down line off to our left upwind.
Sorry about that.
Figure 2 will be an Immelman, but he needs to drive this into the wind, especially with the gliders. As slow as they are, they're going to be much more affected by the wind drift.
Yeah, good figure, half roll on top. Level upright, out of energy, ready for a one-turn spin. This is pretty decently placed. I don't know, would he be using speed brakes right now to slow down, try to get this thing into the spin?
It's unusual to position a spin downwind.
Oh yeah, very tricky, but it's an unknown. Now with that vertical down, can really see where he is in the box.
Good point. This is the first unknown glider we've seen.
Absolutely. Tricky, tricky. Now we have the half Cuban. Float over the top, 45 down, which is 30 for gliders and a half roll to upright. Maintaining that line length. Driving, get some energy. Now a 2-point roll.
Got to drive this into the wind. Try to position it more or less in center box.
And rolling the aircraft creates a lot of drag as well once you displace those flight controls, and could cause the aircraft to slow. Plus, in the slow roll, you need to do it on the line, so you're going to be changing pitch, deflecting the elevator as well. And nicely done, 2-point roll. Now the quarter clover. Full vertical quarter roll on the up.
Should be a very familiar figure for the glider pilots.
Exiting onto the Y, and now another quarter clover, this time with the roll on the down.
Oh. Makes it a half clover, huh?
Yep, total. Yeah, figure complete. Now pull 45 for reverse wedge. Set, half roll. Set, and pull. I do have another glider on tow in sight up there. Maybe they'll be next. Pull, exit left, end of figure, end of sequence. Well done.
Very
Greg.
nice. Greg Boravik. Another glider on tow, but I doubt that we'll see a glider before the next power. But we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
It's full,
Ooh,
this
the suspense is killing me.
Suspense is killing you, huh? If it is, it would be George Fish in the DG-1000. Flugzeugbau. Don't you love that sound of that? Flugzeugbau. What does it mean? Next power
Means I
would
need
be
to learn more German.
next power would be Wayne Forbes in the Panzel S330. We talked a little bit about the Stodekers versus Panzel history. I know a little bit about that, having competed several times at the Michigan contest. And John Stodeker built a series of aerobatic airplanes, primarily with a wooden wing and a steel fuselage. And it was later adopted by the Panzel brothers, Chris and Greg, I believe, in Onstead, Michigan. They built a series of them too, called Panzels.
Matthew Licking asked in the chat, for people new to watching the competition, what is the difference between the primary and intermediate? Thank you. So primary is the generally first level of competition that you would enter. It's the easiest, designed to be the easiest, lowest requirements, lowest penalties, and simplest to fly. That is followed by Sportsman, then intermediate, advanced, and finally unlimited levels of competition. So there's about 2 levels separating primary and intermediate.
Here the Panzel coming in. He's on the base leg. We'll see a wing wag, correction, we'll see a belt check, and then a turn into the box. He was behind us on the wing, on the belt check, but there is the wing wag. All right, Wayne Forbes from Colorado. First figure, 45-degree entry hammer. Hold to 45, then pull to vertical. Good judging position to see any torquing off the top on the hammerhead. The engine torque tends to roll you onto your back during the pivot, has to be compensated for. We'll set the down line and then a half roll on the line, centered between the pivot and the pull out. Then off to the upwind side of the box for the wedge. Nothing on the upline. Still see that drift downwind on the x-axis, and then a 2 of 4 on the downline on the 45. Nice and crisp. Boy, it has a nice stoppage on the roll, doesn't it? Figure 3 is an Immelman. Half loop up, half roll off the top. Gain altitude, lose speed. Get ready for the snap roll. Position that snap in the center of the box. Simple positive snap. And up to the upwind side of the box. Throttle back for the split S, which begins with a 2 of 4. And a half loop down.
Wayne is flying this like he's been here before.
Yeah, it's flying like he's done it before. The Humpty. Put your feet into the box. This is going to take him on to the judges. This is the crossbox corrector. Always take it into the wind, whatever crossbox wind there is. Brings him over the judge's head. Now he does the half square loop up and a layout inverted. He can drive this one as far as he wants to the west. Don't get impatient. Now the 90-degree inverted turn and finish up into the wind. Drive it past the center box, Wayne, before starting your bow tie. 45-degree downline with a 2 out of 4. He did a nice drive to the wind, didn't he? 2 of 4. Pull to vertical, get the power back in. Drive it, drive it, drive it. It should be a small radius pullover.
No roll here, or no points.
No points here, just a simple half roll. And out downwind. 2 more figures to go. Hammerhead, pull to vertical, head into the box. There you go. Then the pivot. Now we see the Hammerhead pivot from a different point of view. Pivots away from the wind and out on the y-axis. One more figure left. That's the 90-degree one inside roller. Finish into the wind. The judges are looking for a consistent roll rate, consistent turn rate, finish up on heading. Very nice, Wayne.
Really nice flight by Wayne. Seems to be very familiar with the airplane, very familiar with correcting for wind and positioning. Very nice flight. I don't know what position he's in historically throughout the competition, but a very strong finish for wherever he's been placed so far.
Any comments or questions on the chat?
Nah, just a lot of cheering for Wayne. Chris Kleinhans, thanks for joining us. Torrington Tail Slide. Wayne!
Wayne.
Yeah, Torrington Tail Slide, if you're out there in the Torrington Tail Slide area, Memorial Day weekend 2026. Registration is already open.
Really?
Head on out.
For a 2026 contest.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Might as well. Put those PTO requests in early.
Yeah. That's what I had to do. During my years in surgical practice, I tried to do at least 3 contests, maybe 4 contests a year. It required a lot of advanced planning. Get the airplane ready, insurance, annual inspection, all that, and have the airplane ready for the contest season, and then planning my PTO weekends around the contest. It takes
Glider's off tow, 12 o'clock.
and this
Primary or intermediate?
well, he's on the y-axis.
Oh, that must mean he's intermediate.
Takes them some time to get here, though.
I looked away. I got him. Okay, starting out, hammerhead, quarter roll down. Got to take it to the judge's left.
There was a question about the categories. One of the big
Wing wag.
steps up is when you go into intermediate and have to deal with a freestyle and a unknown.
We flew the freestyles yesterday. A lot of fun there. Pilots showing off their aircraft and their skills. Okay, quarter roll.
Very different from the power where you see these long lines.
But the same problems. Same wind they have to correct for. Working just right as center line here. Rolling half roll on top. And then got to get this thing slowed down for the spin. Already on the right edge of the box.
It's already getting blown way downwind.
Yeah, really tough wind.
You see the person who wrote this unknown put the FYB in.
Oh,
with
some
the
blue falconry.
Yeah, with the spin downwind, which means you really got to drive everything into the wind. Otherwise, you're going to do figure 4 completely outside of the box.
Yeah, now we're way off to the north for the half Cuban. Gonna be tough to judge this half roll. And now they're getting a really good look at the box. And
he's going to have
the reason they have a really good look at the box is it's completely in front of them.
Oh my gosh, he's got time to smoke a cigar before he gets back for figure 5.
But he's not waiting. He's going right into that 2-point. And now inverted, rolling back upright.
Come on, drive that into the wind before your clovers.
Now, if they have a safety pilot on board, that safety pilot is not allowed to help or coach or say anything in that back unless it has to do with safety.
Oh, that must be incredibly frustrating.
I mean, because, too, as the safety pilot, you're not engaged with the flying of the airplane. You have brain power left available, brain power to spare to see all these things. And now the quarter clover going to take it, the roll to us for the looping portion and then away from the judges as they finish the pull, getting set up for the follow-on quarter clover with the quarter roll on the down line.
Now's the time to correct to the west for the cross-box wind component.
But they have a problem here. They are losing altitude over time. They do not have the time to put in a lot of corrections.
No time. In power, you could wag out and reposition, take your time, put out your helmet fire. Here, they are coming down.
Yeah, pull 45, waiting on a 45 up for a half roll. There we go. They were gaining a bit of energy there, maybe. And now they're going to pull vertical down flirting with the bottom of the box here.
Oh, he's going to be in Abilene pretty soon. Then that's the last figure, figure 8.
All right, George. And good luck with the landing, George. Battle that wind. That's the most incredible part of this.
Now the hard part starts, huh?
Yeah. Fight's on. There's the wag out of the box. Boy, it's a challenging day. You just don't feel it on the ground.
You don't
There's
feel
just
that
no
wind.
wind down here.
I suppose we'll get some wind down here eventually, but we've been blessed so far. Okay, next power competitor. Is Doug Ringering in Extra 300L. Doug's a airline pilot. Got to spend some time with him this week, helping him out with transport back and forth to the hotel. Since we drove in, most of the pilots don't have a car here. Some of them do. Have a friend or a spouse came in or rented a car, but we've tried to help out with ground transportation. Anything on the chat? Go George, very well done, but not a lot of questions. I'll go back to Matthew Licking, who wanted to know the difference between primary and intermediate. Well, the chief difference is primary has a relatively straightforward sequence that doesn't change from year to year. Allows them, it's designed to lower the bar for entry into the sport. Can be flown by basically anything that's aerobatic could do the primary figures. And you don't have to worry about a freestyle. You don't have to worry about an unknown. You don't have to worry about the sequence changing from year to year. Allows you to go to a contest, maybe even with a safety pilot. We offer our clients at Pilot Makers a chance to go to a contest with the decathlon and fly with one of our CFIs. Sportsman's a lot more fun though. More figures, more challenging figures, but is made to be flown by a super decathlon. Even a clip wing Cub could fly Sportsman.
Yep.
And there's no requirement for a freestyle. They have an optional freestyle. If you have been in Sportsman for a while and you're getting a little bored with the Sportsman and you want to throw in a few more challenging figures, you could write yourself a freestyle.
Or if you have an airplane that can't fly intermediate.
Yeah, or is a little more capable. Once you move up to intermediate, though, a freestyle is mandatory. You don't necessarily need to rewrite it or change it. I flew the same freestyle for years. I was too lazy to change it. But you do have to learn to fly unknowns. And that's where the rubber hits the road. You need to be able to analyze an unknown and fly it without practice. Advanced gets much more challenging. There's inverted spins, a lot more negative G, pushes, and inverted flight, and of course unlimited. Well, there's no limit.
Yeah, lots of roll combinations, outside snaps get introduced, tail slides, very, very challenging figures.
All right, this is Doug Ringering coming up. Let's see, did I call it for Wayne? You want to call it? You want to call it for Doug?
Oh no, I called the last one.
Did you? Okay.
Didn't I?
All right. Ringering in the Extra 300L. There's a wing wag. He's coming in for the hammerhead with a 45-degree upline. Starting right in the center box, set that line, set the second line. Nice judging angle on looking right down the knife edge of the airplane to judge the pivot. American engines turn such that when you pivot to the left, you tend to pitch up onto your back. You get some forward stick and some right stick. Then he does a half roll on the down line and out to the left. Drive it into the wind. Wait till you get to all the way to the upwind side of the box and pull the vertical for the wedge. Draw nice lines. Tip down for the 45 down line with a 2 of 4. Give us a nice crisp point. Ching and ching. Figure 3 on the downwind side of the box is the MMA. Half loop up, half roll off the top. Get slowed down for your snap roll. Put the snap roll in the center of the box. Pitch up to a high alpha and get that rudder in and snap it around.
Really nice.
Drive to the upwind side of the box. Bring the power back. 2 of 4, half loop down. Nice pacing, eh?
Yes, very nice.
Center box, hump to roll vertical, quarter roll, feet in the direction of travel. That's to the east. Half loop over the top. Nothing on the down line. Pull out toward the judges. Don't fly over the judge's head. Quickly pull up to the half square loop. And lay out inverted. Crossbox wind is from the west. Drive it to the west.
Yeah, that taking it towards the judges is tricky.
90-degree inverted turn back to the north. Correction south. Just keeping it slow in preparation for figure 9. Drive it to the south. Keep it slow. For the figure starts with a 45-degree down line. 2 of 4. Pull the vertical. Nothing on this line. And tip down. Half roll, no points. The second hammerhead has a quarter roll on the up. With the hammerhead, I roll my head in the direction of travel. That would be to the west. No, he's going to the east. That's going to bring his rolling circle over the judge's head.
Yeah, you focused on pivoting into the wind there.
Yep. He may have a preferred direction of doing his rolling turns, but he is way out to the northeast.
Yeah, back over our heads.
Back over our heads. And wing wagon is done. That was Doug Ringering.
So if you have a figure that you've placed in a position that's very difficult to judge, there's an automatic 2-point downgrade that is applied to that. So instead of the competitor starting out with a 10 score and then downgrades beginning from there, they're going to start off with an 8.
That definitely hurts. Next power competitor would be Micah Reynolds in a Staudiker. Staudikers are like Panzels, Staudiker S600. And the next glider competitor would be Reuben Simmons in the Fox.
Now, standing out on the flight line, they can't see this front edge of the box. The competitors can't tell how close the demonstration pilot is getting to this judge's line. So maybe they aren't getting the data that we're getting from here. So they're making decisions out there.
Yeah, they can question. They can question the competitors when they come down. That's one of the reasons why you don't want to be the first one up into the box and be the wind dummy.
But then that competitor has a choice of whether to give information or to, and for the most part here, at least in my experience, competitors have been for the most part willing to share.
Very collegial.
Be like, oh, I was up there and I did this and I put me over here and I got blown to there, and you might not want to do that. Make another plan.
Speaking of sharing, I was at the contest in Marysville, Ohio, flying intermediate against my friend from Tennessee. And the night before the unknown, we were going over the unknown, and he was very freely sharing his moonshine whiskey with me. And
what a nice guy.
What a nice guy. Yeah, my wife pointed that out. She said, there's a reason he's being so generous with the whiskey. You're flying against him tomorrow.
And he's built up a tolerance to his own moonshine.
Yeah. I said, I thought Ashley was just being very kind to me. She said, oh yeah, he's being kind.
All right, next we got Micah Reynolds from Jefferson City, Tennessee, diving in a beautiful Staudiker S600. From the judge's right, wing wags complete, crossing into the north boundary of the box, coming to right center, and now approaching the center box, waiting on a 45 hammer. Putting that right in front of the judges, 45 up. Taking it nice and long, running the airplane out of energy. Now that you're vertical, you're getting completely blown by the wind. And setting up for that hammer pivot, which happened right dead center box. You can see that now as he sets up for the half roll to exit to the left, upright. Next figure, wedge, 2 of 4 on the down, driving it all the way to the left side of the box. Hard pull over the top here. There's a medium to light pull. 2 of 4 on the down line. 1, 2, getting blown towards the judges here.
for the half loop up. Just right of center box, half loop up incoming, half roll on top, Immelman. Now let's see if Micah's got the patience to put this snap roll all the way back center. Still right of center, still right, coming to center box. 250, 200, 150, right about center box for the snap roll. Power change, let's see, does he pull the power back now? There's the 204. And coming on downhill. He should exit the bottom of this figure at about 160 knots with 30 knots of ground speed of wind on the tail. It's about 190, 200 knots of ground speed. Quarter roll on the up. Feet into the box, gonna take it away. This is the first competitor I think we've seen take this figure away, and I think that's the right play today.
I think it's the right way to do it.
And that may have been a game time decision. He's seen where he's been moving on these other figures here.
Judges like to look up at about a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
And putting this close to the back side of the box helps their viewing angle for judging.
Nice half square loop, now a 90-degree outside turn. He's taking us all the way back to the front.
Drop that wing.
Back to the front of the box here, right on the front edge. And 90-degree turn complete. And driving, can see where he is in the box. Now looking for that pull 45 down 204 for the bow tie. Long maneuver. Okay, moved it all the way to the left-hand side. Good patience there. Vertical up, pull 45 down, half roll on the down. Half roll, looking good. Back center box, pull level, hammer with a quarter roll on the up. And now, just from finishing that maneuver, he's all the way on the right-hand side of the box. So much wind up there.
Okay, head into the box. That'll take him to the west again.
This is a good decision here. Now the hammerhead over the top, you're not supposed to downgrade for wind-blown hammer pivot. That's a new change this year, I think.
Yeah, hard not to, though.
Yeah, really tough. And the 90-degree roller, one to the inside. Not a lot of references out there. A little behind on roll, and finishing here on the X-axis, wing wagon out. Micah Reynolds with a unique performance, one we haven't seen today directionality-wise, but looked like he used the full box, was very well in control of things. Nice flight, Micah.
Nice flight. What do we have next? A glider or power?
Well, I did see a glider on tail.
I don't see a glider on tail. If it's a glider, it's going to be Reuben Simmons in the Fox. If it's power, it's going to be Jake Spidel in the Pitts S2B. Okay, I just heard from the judging line. Glider is next.
Glider.
And Reuben flies the intermediate. So we'll see another.
Nationals are not cheap to operate. Getting all these resources out here is a fantastic financial undertaking. Thank you to the IAC and our sponsors. Extra Aircraft, Aura Aero, Game Aerospace, MX Aircraft Company, Northwest Insurance Company, and the American Champion Aircraft Company.
Robin's flying the MDM Fox and will be flying intermediate unknown. Any questions on the chat? Let's have some questions.
Scores coming up. Sean Tucker did hard zero for that bow tie. That's a big K figure there.
Yeah,
that's unknowns.
That's unknowns.
That's unknowns. You know, it's hard zeros. You're trying to fly it clean as best you can, but we'll see how that shakes up the scores.
Okay, I see a glider on tow, high up to the northwest.
Isn't it amazing how that just appears?
Well, now the sun's right. It catches it.
Yeah, you don't see it. Then all of a sudden, Forrest puts a camera on it. Boom, there it is. Forrest has a really nice setup on the camera. He's got a little red dot sight on the top handle, so he's able to pick it up with his eyes, put the camera on it using the red dot, then into the viewfinder for the camera. Now he's got the aircraft in focus.
Nice, just like
That's proprietary. Don't tell anybody about that.
That's proprietary.
That's proprietary.
Copyright, patent pending.
Almost like a sniper rifle. Still on tow. we'll see the tow plane dive to the right and the glider pull off to the left once they go off tow. Okay, I heard on the radio, off tow, off tow. Reuben Simmons is off tow and heading to the box. This is a Y-axis entry, and looks like he drove it into the wind. Probably
Smart.
Smart. Very smart to keep everything into the wind, especially in the gliders as slow as they are.
Yeah, he has started this well left of center, which is good because he's got a long journey to make. Does look like he's maneuvering now to come back. Maybe he'll make another correction.
He would, yeah, it would behoove him to start to our left.
Yeah, and he's again maneuvering back to the south, which is good. He's got some altitude to work with, and the Fox is a higher performing glider, so they've got the performance with the altitude they have remaining to get all this sequence done before the bottom of the box.
All he's got to work with is his potential energy from his altitude. There's the wing wag, and first figure is a hammerhead, so we're gonna see a pull to the vertical, and we'll be in a good viewing position, especially as the sun hits the bottom of his wings, to see his hammerhead pivot. And he's pivoting into the wind, which makes it look nice. Then the quarter roll, and he goes downwind. Oh, but wasn't that supposed to be an upwind turn?
Well, that's unknowns.
That's unknowns. Okay. So the Immelman was on the upwind side of the box, but he's on the downwind side of the box. And his spin, remember we commented earlier that always prefer to spin into the wind.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that choice because this is an unknown.
And that was a 1 1/4.
That was a 1 1/4.
Bit overdone. He's corrected though, so
Corrected.
he's back on the X-axis. Unfortunately,
He does have enough
it's the
altitude.
wrong way on the X.
He could wag out and reposition.
Or just do a 180-degree turn, because as a glider, wagging out and trying to come back into the box, you don't have the energy for. So just take the implicit brake, turn the aircraft around, get back on the correct axis. But we're going to continue here. He's doing the 2-point. Wrong way.
But we're not judging, right?
No, I'm not judging. I'm just announcing matters of fact right now.
Matters of fact. Fortunately, none of we're not audible to the judging line. Boy, he's out way downwind on those quarter clovers. On his way to Nebraska.
Now he could correct here and actually take this to the other direction. He has the opportunity, but unfortunately, he's coming back in. Judges right to left. Should be going left to right.
So how do you keep yourself on track in the box?
Practice on the ground.
Do you talk to yourself?
I grunt. I grunt a lot.
I talk to myself.
Yeah?
I got used to that working with students, and even if I don't have a student with me, I still shout it out loud. I'm on figure 4. Figure 4. So I would say, I would say, I'm on figure 2. Figure 2 is going into the wind. I'm driving into the wind, driving into the wind, drive myself to the upper side of the box. It's just a mental trick.
You have a lot more brain power available to you than I do, apparently, to be able to talk. If I start talking, I can't fly.
All right. Did he finish figure 8? I lost track of him again.
Oh, yeah.
Is he out of the box?
Yes, he's out of the box.
He's out of the box. Reuben Simmons in the MDM Fox.
Fortunate scoring for Reuben, but a learning opportunity, and we look forward to seeing him fly in the future.
Next glider will be primary. Emiliano Capatano.
I think we're going to have intermediate power next.
Intermediate power. All right, you got this one. This would be Jake Spidel in the pits.
Good old Jake.
And there are several other people using that aircraft at this contest too, aren't there? Some primaries.
Oh.
I think I've seen it fly a couple, maybe Sportsman.
Yeah, a couple of pits is out here.
Yep, I hear the pits coming in to our right. Pit Special S2B. That's probably the most produced factory-built pits, isn't it? The S2B. You see a lot of them out there.
Yeah, until the C came out, yeah.
See?
And, the numbers on the C, I'm not sure. I know they can still make them. They are still in production, but I think there's enough Bs out there that people are picking those up still.
So he's on the base leg into the box for his intermediate power unknown.
Admiral Bill Finnegan still does a lot of work in the pits S2C world, and a couple of years ago I was looking at buying an airplane, and I asked him, you know, what should I get? And he said S2C, no hesitation at all.
No hesitation.
Admiral, if you're watching, we miss you, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I got a chance to see him at Oshkosh this year. He's always a fixture at the Aviat booth. Jake Spidel.
Jake Spidel, wing wags in, drives to center box before starting the 45 up for the 45 hammer. Good position, not as much vertical performance with the pits, so not as much time for the wind to blow him across the box here. Pivot right in the center of the box, right in front of the judges. Nicely placed half roll. And getting a good look at that box, pulling level. Ground speed's probably about 110, 120 knots. Take your time driving into the wind here. For the wedge, pull vertical, pull 45 down, 2 of 4 on the down. Count the points. 1, 2, nice pause there, leaving no doubt for the judges as to whether hesitation was flown. Half loop up, half roll on top, also known as an Immelman. Half roll upright, draw the line. Now, full snap. Let's watch that beautiful pit snap. Jake showing his experience, positioning this right in front of the judges. Snap roll right in front. Now here, power change, waiting on a 2 of 4. Drive it, Jake. Go, 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 go. Well done. 2 of 4, half roll, nice little float down here. A lot of people pull way too soon after that 2 of 4. Let the airplane start a radius and then pull hard here at the bottom. Looking for Humpty, quarter roll up, put those wheels into the box. Let's see where he wants to go. Gonna pull towards the back and then exit the figure towards the judges. You can use that top part of the Humpty to position yourself a bit against the wind. Now towards us for the half square loop up. And another opportunity here to level to drive it back into the center of the box. Look up and right, find that center of the box. There you go, Jake, take your time. Set up that 90-degree outside turn, competition style. Minus 2 Gs in that turn at a minimum, maybe more, depending on your bank angle. Trying to keep it level. Flying away from the judges, you do appear to be descending, so you can get away with a little bit of a cheat there. They expect to see a descent. 2 of 4 on the bow tie down, all the way to the left edge of the box into that wind. Nicely placed figure, and pull 45 down. With as much tailwind as we have, this should be a hard pull. 45 down, full half roll, not a full roll, half roll. Good angle there, and pull vertical, quarter roll up on the hammer. Just that brief couple seconds moves you from the judge's left to the judge's right. Quarter roll, gonna pivot here on the hammerhead. Looks like go into the wind. Minimizing that pivot radius. I hear a power change coming down. Controlling that energy for the roller here. 90-degree one to the inside. And end of figure, end of sequence for Jake.
Yeah, very nice.
Well flown, well positioned.
Very nice wind management.
Alexis, thank you for joining us, cheering on Jake.
There's a comment saying there's no worse feeling than being in the middle of your sequence and your brain asks, am I going the right way?
I
Coming up in the extra 300L, and primary glider Emiliano Capatano.
Forrest, we're black screen. Yeah, we're back.
And we're back. A little bit of a break. Any questions? We're getting lots of thank yous and shout outs.
USMC Mech, did you find the sequences on the Spread Aviation story? Forrest doing a great job with the live stream over here. He's a one-man operation, bouncing back and forth between the camera and the computer over on his end, making sure that we get continuous feedback. Also, the recording that he's doing is what the judges will use for a video review if they ever do request one later. And he's got a TV set up in the back of the SUV here, just in case they need that. But our competitors have been flying well enough today. I don't think we're going to be using a lot of that video review, but I have seen it get used for the more intense categories, advanced and unlimited, where there's so many figures.
Especially unlimited.
Oh, yes.
I've been on the unlimited line and seen 7 or 8 video reviews in a row, because the rotations are there's so many rotations, and they happen so fast, often with alternating rotations.
Looks like we have a glider pilot off tow here, and this should be a primary glider.
Yep, this is
Emiliano Capatano.
Emiliano Capatano. In the DG. This is most likely a USAF? No, Monument, Colorado. A lot of these glider pilots are Air Force Academy cadets that are here, both to compete and to assist and volunteer. Almost 0 ground speed. There's his wing wag. He'll speed up here in a moment when he starts figure number 1, which is the diagonal down line, 30-degree down line. Gets him into the box, gets him his speed, which he's going to need for the quarter clover on the upwind side of the box.
Not an easy day for these glider pilots. My hat is off to them working through this. This is absolutely awesome to watch.
Okay. Quarter roll integrated into the half loop up, wings level at the top, and then a smooth half loop down with no roll. That brings him towards us. He does a 270-degree turn. He needs to finish the turn downwind, so he'll turn initially into the wind. Constant bank angle, constant heading change is what the judges are looking for. Finish on the downwind leg, ideally right in the center box, where he's going to place his slow roll. A lot of adverse yaw in these long, long wings, and we want a smooth, continuous roll rate. There's no points on this roll. Downwind, figure 5 is the wing over. Smooth, pull up, and we want to see 90 degrees of bank at the 90 degree of turn point. Finish up on heading to the north, to the south. See how far the wind carried him out.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's got time to smoke a cigar until he gets back into the center box for his loop.
No smoking in aircraft in the U.S., Jeff.
Not even in a glider, there's no gasoline.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah.
Fire bad.
Fire bad, okay. Well, smoke a cigar is a euphemism that we use on the judging line to mean nothing is happening.
The judges can light up.
The judges can light up. So he'll come right back into the center box and place his loop, which is his final figure. He's building speed, losing altitude. All he's got to spend is his potential energy. He's coming right to the center box. I'm going to put my pen right where he started his pitch change, see if he can come back to it.
That was well placed.
Yes, but the wind did carry him back during that first part of the loop. And he is going to finish downwind from where he started. End of figure, end of sequence for Emiliano.
Really good patience shown there.
Yeah.
That was nicely done.
Patience or pacing?
Both.
Pacing, both, yeah. Pacing and patience. They're interleaving the gliders with the power competitors. And next power competitor would be Reuben Alcanero in an extra.
Reuben, a 777 pilot.
777 pilot. I noticed when I started to compete that there were some doctors and lawyers and engineers and mechanics and ordinary folks, but there's a lot of airline pilots. So what do they call that? The busman's holiday? You know, where you do the same thing on your vacation as you do at work. but it's not really exactly the busman's holiday because vastly different flying a small aerobatic airplane compared with flying a 777 Boeing. Right?
Now it looks like we're going to take a little bit break. We'll be right back from the U.S. National Aerobatic Championships in Salina, Kansas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you're interested in being a volunteer, head on over to IAC.org. We can't put pilots in the box unless we've got volunteers on the ground ready to watch them. And one of the key positions for that is the chief judge. Jeff, what do you know about the chief judge position?
Well, I've never acted as the chief judge. I've assisted the chief judge before. I am a national judge, and in the old system, national judges were supposed to be the chief judges at contest or grading judge in the national contest. But somehow or another, in 30 years in this sport, I've never been able to serve as a chief judge. I've tried to work into it by talking to the volunteer coordinator and see if I could get assigned to the chief judge's table as an assistant at contest. Seems like it hardly ever works out, though, because grading judges are needed. Grading judges are in short supply. I say,
What is the chief judge's role?
well, the chief judge really runs the show. You know, you might think that the contest director is running the show, and the contest director, of course, is the one who, if it was a film, he'd be the producer. You know, he or she would be the producer. They schedule it, bring all the people together, get funding and sponsorship, advertise it, gather all the volunteers together. They have to set up everything: hotels, restaurants, transportation, all the supplies, etc. But when the contest starts, it's really the chief judge who's directing the action out here. He'd be more like the director of the film. You know, lights, camera, action. Speaking of action, here comes Reuben Alcanero in the extra 300L.
And he's wing wagging high and to the right, diving into the box. Nice close start. This is a really good positioning setup for the 45 hammer coming to box center here. He's going to get ready for that 45 pull. Just past center and up to the 45.
He has started more in this figure farther into the wind than I think any other competitors.
I think it's a good play with as much wind as we're seeing, and Reuben's had the advantage of being on the ground and watching the previous, I don't know what, 12 competitors fly, and so he's using that data that he's gained to place this figure as he does the half roll, pulls level, gets it up for figure two, the wedge, driving that all the way to the edge of the box, up on the vertical, letting that wind blow him back in, because we know on this 45 down line, going to come really screaming back to the center. Looking for that 204, 1, 2.
It is quite an advantage to see what the others did with the wind. That's why they draw the order of flight at random.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm number 2 on my next flight. Half roll, a back up right after that half loop up. Now he's waiting to position the snap right in front of the judges, right on the center line. There we go. And now we hear a power change, waiting on a 204, downwind 1, 2, correction upwind. Now he pulls to the downwind with a half loop down. And just approaching center, he'll pull to the vertical for the pull humpty with quarter roll up. Going to initially pull towards the judges, but finish the figure going away. And with the on-judge wind, that going away is going to help reposition him into a deeper part of the box. Lots of room to do the follow-on maneuvers. Now for the square half loop up. Full level.
I think his wind correctors are exactly the opposite of what most of the others did.
Yeah, this is reminiscent of Micah's flight, maybe a little bit better positioned than Micah's. Does the 90-degree competition turn, finishing just right of center, right over the judges, right on the front edge of the box. Getting set up for now the 204 on the bow tie. 1, 2. And down line, there we go. Pulling to the vertical, all the way on the left edge. Wind is going to blow him back towards center, over the top here. And pulling down to the 45 with half roll on the down. Back level, hammerhead with a quarter roll up.
Okay, put your head to the west.
He did.
You did.
He did. He's listening to you. He must have the live stream up in the cockpit right now. Now this would be a great place where if you had the skill to hammerhead to the right, would have worked a little better, but it didn't hurt him all that bad. He's going very slow at the top. And now the 90-degree inside roller.
I'll have to try hammering to the right.
Yeah,
No
might as
reason why-
well.
No reason why you can't.
Burp of the power as you pivot helps. Good job, Reuben.
And done. Reuben Alcanero in the extra. Next power competitor coming up is Jen Watson. I had dinner with Jen last night, and we went over her unknown. I gave her a few tips and pointers. Let's see if it helps her or hinders her. It's always discouraging when you give somebody advice and then it works out the opposite of how you intended.
There's just enough dust out here to trigger my senses. Sorry about sneezing on the microphone, folks.
If it's a glider, it would be, did we already see Charles Fox? No, we saw George Fish. But Charles Fox, intermediate unknown. Is it a glider?
Yep. There's a tow plane, there's a glider.
Okay, got him. Tally ho. So this will be Charles Fox. Intermediate glider, unknown. Y-axis entry. Turn on the first figure, absolutely critical, as we've seen. What could be worse than turning the wrong way on the first figure and then flying the rest of the sequence backwards?
I can't think of much.
I can't think of much. Maybe starting the first figure. Okay, here he goes. Is he still positioning?
Yes.
Okay, he's turning, positioning. Looks like he's positioning into the wind. Gliders are much more affected by the wind than the power because of their slow speed.
Wing wags.
Okay, there's the wing wag. He's coming into the box on the y-axis. He pulls to vertical for his hammerhead. And the roll is on the down line. Much easier to roll correctly on the down line, don't you think? You're looking right at the box. There's the box. I need to turn into the wind. Turns on the up line, a little more tricky. There's the pivot. Okay, and turn into the wind. Very nice. Drive it into the wind because your spin is downwind and you're going to get carried, especially as slow as you are when you're starting the spin. Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it onto the upwind side of the box for the Immelman. Okay, now he has to finish this on an ascending line so that he can slow down for the spin. And I'm sure he is slowing down, but look how fast he's moving with respect to ground speed.
Indicated airspeed probably very low, but you got to add that number to the 30 knots of tailwind he's got.
Okay. And he's got a one-turn spin, so he's going to still be going down when he finishes. For the figure 4, which is a half Cuban, which is a large figure. This is it. We don't have boundary judges at this contest. We talked about the logistics, what the contest director has to arrange, and that greatly adds to his or her personnel requirements. So they've been omitted here.
I don't believe SIVA runs boundary judges.
Boundary judges. They just go on positioning. Here we're going on positioning or presentation, and finishing a figure that far downwind.
Right.
Certainly would affect your presentation. The 2-point roll in the center box. And now on the upwind side of the box, we have these linked quarter clovers. A quarter clover up and a quarter clover down.
And Charles is doing a great job driving this. Yeah, he's had to go the entire length of the box to put this where he wants it.
Okay, so here's a smoothly integrated quarter roll into the first half of the loop. When he finishes the second half of the loop, he will be heading to the west, correcting for the crossbox wind. The second quarter clover is the reciprocal with the quarter roll on the down line.
And he's still left to the judges. Like, this is well done.
Okay, figure 8, downwind is reverse wedge. Pull to the 30-degree line, set the line, do the half roll, continue the line, drop down to the vertical. And out to our left, upwind, end of figure, end of sequence, and that was Charles Fox. Nice
Great
young,
patience.
nice young man from the Air Force Academy. I worked with him on the judges line as he was my recorder. Next glider will be a primary. After that, two more intermediates.
Okay.
Next power coming up, I hear the engine. Jen Watson. So we were talking about the chief judge responsibility. So the chief judge is there acting as the director of, on our little movie set. He has a radio. He's calling in communication with the starter to sequence the pilots as they take off. He is on a radio to the holding frequency, and he will call the competitor in when the time comes. He's positioned in the middle of the judging array. There's how many judging stations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 grading judges, each of which has 2 assistants. They're spaced around the chief judge, close enough that they can hear him, but hopefully separated from each other enough they don't suffer from crosstalk. You don't want to hear somebody else's judging comments and might influence your decision. You certainly don't want to hear their score. If he needs to call them in for a judging conference, he can. He'll call a quick conference, tell the pilot in the hold that he's going to have to wait a few more minutes and try to resolve some issue of fact. And we also, at the national contest, have video review. So Forrest is recording all these flights, and if there's need for video review, they don't do it in real time. They do it at the end of the category. We'll all gather around the monitor, and we can resolve an issue of fact, such as whether or not somebody hit the point. There are some things that cannot be resolved by video review. You know what those are?
Tell me.
Matters of perception.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did a snap? Did a spin auto-rotate? There you just have to give your best impression. There's a lot of subjectivity. Okay, here comes Jen.
Tally-ho, got Jen wing wags complete. Jennifer diving to the box, that 300 LP coming to center box. Getting ready for a pull to the 45, just past the judges. Pull 45 set. And pull vertical. Great performance out of the extra 300. And hammer. We're definitely getting an increase in the wind here on the ground now. Half roll. And pull back to level flight into the wind. And I'm also seeing that it's a bit of a wind out of the west-southwest. So
Yes.
They have the cross box as well as the down box wind. We watched Jen pull to the 45 down here, set the 2 of 4. 1, 2. Nicely done. Nice line length afterwards. Now we're looking for the half loop up, half roll on top. A rather technical section of the aerobatic sequence for this unknown. The half roll up, the snap, which needs a minimum speed to look good. Hear a power shift there, just trying to manage that energy. Full snap, now the 2 of 4, which does not need a whole lot of speed to go into this half loop down. Well, Jen is working that throttle lever with precision, making sure that she has the appropriate energy.
Did she hit the points?
Yes, I counted points there.
Okay. I told her, put your feet into the direction you want to go.
There you go.
Boy, she's being blown downwind, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. It might be 35 knots aloft now. And pulling back level, drive it to the back of the box. But the more time you spend driving to the back of the box, the more time that the wind is blowing you to the right.
Exactly.
Matthew Licking, hangar 509. And now we have the competition 90-degree inverted turn.
Now's your chance to really drive it back into the wind.
Yeah.
While hanging off the straps.
Squeeze the neck.
How long will that LP run inverted?
2 minutes at full power. So we have inverted fuel and oil. Inverted oil, indefinite, but inverted fuel, the fuel pickup in the extras fuel tank is from a small portion of the center tank. that can refill very quickly, but has a little standpipe in it to hold about 2 gallons of inverted fuel.
Tank within a tank.
Tank within a tank. No flop tube. And back to level flight. Nice figure there. Hammerhead quarter roll up.
And I told her head into the box. There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I helped her after all.
Maybe. Might be sliding backwards a bit there.
A little bit of a hammer slide.
Hammer slide. Did pivot. And now the 90 roller 1 to the inside. Hear the power change regulating the energy on the airplane, not get too fast for this roller. Well flown, Jen. Well flown. Nice job.
Very nice. All right. That was Jen Watson from California. Has her own little flight school. Specializes in aerobatics, spins. Next. Okay, next power is going to be Raul O'Brien, an extra 330 SC. But I hear from the judges line that the next competitor is going to be a glider. That will be Josh Wilson, a primary.
We hear Jen turning out of the box. That extra sounds really good. The U.S. National Aerobatic Championships 2025 brought to you by Extra, Aura Aero, Game Composites, MX Aircraft Company, the Northwest Insurance Company, and American Champion Aircraft.
A little bit of a break while we're waiting for a primary glider. Primary glider's not going to be very fast, is it?
Nah.
Stealthy. Stealthy. We call them stealth gliders. We're searching the skies. It's pretty much a featureless sky today, which represents a little bit of a challenge for the judges. Ideally, you'd have a little bit of a cloud background to give you some perspective. This is really hard on the eyes. I see some floaters. I think that they're airplanes.
Yeah.
Or a bird.
There's also opportunities for volunteers out on the flight line. We have umbrella holders.
The umbrella laders?
Yeah, the umbrella holders. So as the competitors are getting into their airplanes, sitting in the sun, the umbrella holders will give them some shade,
Yes.
keep the pilots from overheating before they go and fly.
Yeah, there's ample opportunities for volunteers. Sometimes people just show up at a contest. They go on the IAC website, see there's a contest near them, show up in their car or their plane, and walk onto the ramp and say, how can I help?
Yeah, IAC.org.
I moved out here 7 years. I moved to the Mountain West 7 years ago from Ohio, where I'd been involved in the IAC for 20-some years, and I didn't know anybody. I got in my plane, flew down to Apple Valley for the contest, walked out on the ramp, said, I'm here to help. They said, here's a clipboard, here's a radio, rerun the box. I said, fine. That's how I met A.J. Wilder.
Oh, wow. Yeah, AJ, good dude. All right, gliders off tow.
Off tow. Off tow. We hear from the judging line. Off tow, off tow. And high and to the right. Glider primary. Moving up against the wind, kind of slow like. Waiting for his position. First figure is a diagonal down line. 30 degrees in the primary glider category. Plenty of time. Don't rush it. Take your time. Take your time.
They're going to slowest traffic on Route 95 in Boston on a Monday morning right now.
Okay, there's the wing wag. Yeah, he would be wise not to even start this until he passes center box. There it goes. There's the pitch down to 30 degrees. Building speed to get ready for his looping maneuver.
This is great positioning. This is left of center.
Nice.
Looks good.
So there's a quarter clover. A loop with a quarter roll smoothly integrated into the first half of the loop. Changes his axis. Now, once he comes wings level, then just smooth pull around on a half loop. That brings him back toward the east. Now a 270 turn. Initially turn to the right because he wants to go left.
Call this a French left.
French left.
Go right to go left.
And there you go. Center box, figure 4, slow roll. a smooth roll rate. No change in the roll rate, no change in the heading. Figure 5 is the wing over. I think this is a great coordination maneuver. We don't see this in power aerobatics, but I use it a lot in familiarization flights for the decathlon. Do linked wing overs, call those crazy eights. Back into the wind. Take your time. Don't do that loop until you're right over the chief judge. Tick, 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 tick. Takes time. Keeping the speed up for the looping maneuver. He's got plenty of altitude. It's always amazing to me how a glider can be only a few hundred feet above the ground and could even make a go-around in the pattern. There's the loop. To wind correct, he really needs to drive the first part into the wind and then hurry up the second part. Kind of like a turn around a point in the wind, only turned up on its side. I think that was a real clean sequence.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
It is really a pleasure to see a cleanly flown sequence. You want to make the judge happy. That was Josh Wilson in the DG, and I thought that was a really great sequence for a DG, which is not a high-performance glider.
Nope.
Next power will be Raul O'Brien in Extra 330 SC. Raul was flying a biplane last year, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
And now flying a high-performance Extra 330 SC. Extra 330 SCs dominate world competition.
Absolutely.
Look at the most recent advanced worlds that took place a few weeks ago in Hungary. All the top finishers were in Extra 330 SCs.
It's a very capable high-performance aircraft with predictable behavior. You can really put the figures, the stops, the starts, everything right where you want it without having so much performance that you have controllability issues. It flows with pilot input very, very nicely. And
Has it got really good centering in rolls?
good centering. You can do multiple linked rolls and not have it wander off. Stick position is ergonomically good for non-accidental control inputs. It's a very harmonious aircraft. After lots of development and lots of input from pilots all around the community, Michael Goulian was a big part of the development of that aircraft as well. And the product of all of that work, that feedback, that input, and engineering by Walter Extra and the other contributing members made a fantastic, fantastic competition aerobatic machine.
What is it about the ailerons that gives it the centering?
Magic.
Magic?
It's got some extended horns out on the tips of the ailerons. It's got the shovel down below that helps the balance. And I believe that one of the criteria that Michael set forth was he wanted the airplane to snap like a cap.
Snap like a cap.
Snap like a cap.
Like a cap 232.
Yeah, here comes Raul diving into the box, getting set up for figure 1, 45 hammer. Pull 45, set. Driving, now up to the vertical.
He really extended that 45, which helps with his wind correction, doesn't it?
It definitely did. And the airplane now in the pivot, waiting on the half roll.
It's an attractive airplane on the ground, but it's blue against this featureless blue sky, at least on the top.
Yeah,
It's a little hard to see.
It was originally all blue. He's added some orange to the wingtips and got a nice checkerboard on the bottom. Help you see the bottom of the aircraft there. And it's got a couple layers of wax too. It's very shiny, reflecting the sun back at us as he goes for the wedge. Pulls the 45 down, 204 on the down line. 1, 2. And back to level flight, half loop up, half roll on top. Lots of folks in the cheering section in the chat for Raul. Half roll now into the wind as he gets set up for the snap. And we'll see that cap-like snap here. Center box. There's the snap. And now the power change. Get the airplane's energy down for the 204, driving all the way to the left side of the box. 204, half loop down. Ready, 1, 2. Really saw those orange wingtips.
Yeah, he
on
is
that
really
roll.
driving it into the wind.
I mean, he must have been paying attention to the previous competitors. Now pulling up into the Humpty with quarter roll on the up. He'll initially take this to us on the judges line before pulling level, taking it away. Nothing down. Drive for some smash. Smash is another term for airspeed. Pull exit away right in front of the judges, pulling up to the vertical for the half square loop up. Pulling level. And now for the 90-degree competition turn. Roll, set, push. Little negative G. Stop roll, or stop the turn. Roll upright now. The pull 45 down for the bow tie. 2 of 4. The 330 SC has so much performance that you could even pull some power back for this down line before shoving it back forward.
I would.
Vertical up. Here's where we need a hard pull. Lots of wind on the tail. 45 down. Nobody's really showed a hard pull at this point on the figure yet so far today. And a half roll to upright and ready for a hammerhead with a quarter roll up. Dealer's choice which way you want to go. We're going to see this hammer. A little bit of tailwind, a little blown over the top. That's okay. Going to leave him lots of room in the box to do the 90 roller, one to the inside. Power would be idle here. Crack, 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 crack. I expect to hear that exhaust.
Now he's throttled back. Hear the pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, I hear it now. And there's the rolling turn, blending, heading change, and roll into it.
And there's the wing wag.
Raul with a very nicely placed sequence. In my book, in my estimation, really nicely flown.
Yeah,
right
I think
up there with Steve Fiegel's presentation, and
I think that was some of the best wind correction we've seen so far.
it was heads and tails above. Absolutely.
All right, we have 2 more gliders, both intermediate, Daniel Weston and Nicholas Gierach. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 remaining intermediate power. Intermediate is the biggest field so far. Biggest field at this contest, isn't it? In
Yes.
Single category.
Yes.
Very makes for a long morning out here for the judges and the commentators. But they're plying us with snacks. So yesterday we mentioned a funny little phrase, lever A, lever B.
Mm-hmm.
So when I transitioned from my Skybolt that I was flying in Sportsman, to my extra 200, I flew a season of Sportsman in the 200 and felt good about that. Decided it was time to move up to intermediate, and I was flying some of these intermediate sequences in front of my coach. I got down and he said, "What the hell are you doing? Pulling the power back on the downlines." I said, "Well, it's a lot more slippery than that biplane was. I'm just afraid of overspeeding." He said, "Let me tell you about my theory. It's called lever A, lever B." He said, "We call this here throttle lever, lever A. I want you to push it forward till she stops. It won't go no more, and I want you to lever B."
Yep.
He said, "Fly that thing like an extra." He said, "You are not going to hurt that airplane. What kind of G's are you pulling?" Well, 5 or 6. He says, "Rated for 10 G's."
Yes,
said-
but my body is...
He said, "You need all that energy. Why are you pulling it back on the downline?" "Well, I'm afraid of going too low." "No, you'll pull out at a higher altitude if you leave the power in." And after he explained, I said, "You're right." He said, "I don't want you to pull that power back except to spin and to land."
Yeah, the extra 200, not necessarily underpowered, but it's just got enough.
Just got enough. Yeah.
But that means you got to leave it up here. Raul, he's got about 150 more than you.
He's got a lot more power than he needs for intermediate, especially at this density altitude.
Yes.
So then the question is, would you advise him to start pulling the power back on some of these lines so that he keeps things more compact?
Yes, and it's all situational as well. You mentioned density altitude. It's definitely a factor as we see Justin Hickson, Batman, wagging in.
Batman. Okay,
From the
Justin
right.
Hickson, Batman. Nickname so-called, and a highly modified pits, all yellow. It really presents well, easy to see against this blue background. First figure, 45 entry into the hammer. Vertical line. Biplanes dominated at one time. See fewer and fewer of them in competition. But I'll tell you, nothing corners like a biplane, does it? Half roll on the down line. Plus there's the romance of the biplane and the sound of the wind of the wires, right? Up against the upwind side of the box, the wedge. 2 out of 4 on the diagonal down line. He is throttled back a little bit, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Now on the downwind side of the box, the Immelman. Very compact sequence. I think the 1,000-meter cubic box was designed for biplanes, more or less. Snap roll, center box. Figure 5. A split S with a 2 out of 4. Figure 6, center box, the Humpty with the roll on the upline. Put your feet in the direction of travel. When he finishes this, he will be coming towards us.
Yeah, and that's right in front of us as well. Nicely placed figure.
And we can see a glider on tow in the background. Then half square loop up before you cross the judging line. Cap off inverted, drive it to the west side of the box, correct for that wind. And then a 90-degree inverted turn to our left, to his right. Bring the power back. This figure starts with a diagonal line. Figure 9, the bow tie, starts with a diagonal line down and a 2 out of 4. He sounds like he's leaving the power in. Leaving lever A, full forward.
Yep.
Half roll. And out to judge's right. Center box, the hammerhead. Quarter roll on the up. Head in the direction of travel. That'll be to the east. Pivot into the wind. One figure remaining. That's the rolling turn. 90-degree, one inside, back into the wind. Should be wings level right at the 45-degree heading change. And wings level again at the 90-degree heading change, and done. End of figure, end of sequence.
Good flight for Justin there. Justin wants to say hi, Gierach. Talking to his son, and that's going to put a wrap on Nationals for Justin. All done with the unknown sequence.
Right.
Good performance all week.
A lot of shout-outs for Raul. Any questions about aerobatic competition, aerobatic airplanes, aerodynamics, and airplanes in general? Anything?
Yes, I have lots of questions.
You have lots of questions?
Number 1, how dare you?
How dare me what?
No, just kidding. That's a line from The Office.
Oh. I'll take any questions. You ask me questions about revision total knee replacement. I don't care. But mostly we're here about aviation.
I got to observe a surgery where they were doing a knee replacement.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was my first time in an operating room.
Did it strike you as a little bit barbaric?
It's carpentry.
It is. It's carpentry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of surgeons who are orthopedic surgeons who do amateur woodworking. The problem is they can't get disability insurance.
Oh.
Yeah, you apply for disability insurance, has all these exclusions. You may not own a table saw.
Wow. You need all those fingers.
Yeah, I need all my fingers. I got 10. They're all my favorites. And, yeah, there are surgeons who have suffered hand injuries and returned, but a major hand injury would end your career. So
Yes.
can't do that. Can't do that. But not doing any more surgery these days.
A lot more flying.
A lot more flying.
A lot
yeah.
of pilot making.
Yeah, but I was a pilot long before I was a surgeon. I've been flying since high school. What about you?
Sophomore year of college.
Sophomore year of college, yeah.
Yeah, December 26, 2003 is when I took my check ride.
2003. You don't know when I took my check ride. Well, let's just say that the summer that I soloed, there were men walking on the moon.
Oh, wow.
And the summer that I took my check ride, Jimmy Carter was running for president. So,
Wow.
it's been a while.
Been a minute.
All right, here it looks like he's off tow.
Jeff, what are the winds doing in the box right now? Alexander Coates asks. We think that this is an x-axis that is north-south. We believe that the winds in the box are approximately 220 to 230 at about 30.
Yes, yeah. So mostly down the box, a little bit from the west. I can check my my ForeFlight here in a minute, but we got a glider coming up. This is Daniel Weston in the MDM Fox doing his intermediate unknown. And while you're looking at that, I will go on ForeFlight, maybe check, see if there's a current wind in the box.
All right, we got wing wags now as he dives in on the y-axis, getting blown from left to right, pulling into the vertical for the hammerhead. Hammerhead will be conducted nothing up, but a quarter roll on the down, gonna exit, hopefully, to the left. There we go. Pull, exit left. We'll have a half loop up with a half roll on top, classically known as the Immelman. And the tricky part of this sequence is the downwind spin entry. Half loop up, and a bit of a nose down there, and showing winds loft 210 at 27. I was really close.
Really, that's a good call there.
Any glider pilots able to drop it in the chat if you would use speed brakes in order to control the entry into that spin. Bit of an over rotation there, but nice correction back to the appropriate heading. Going into the half Cuban for Daniel Weston. Half roll, back to upright. And the cross country against that wind, fighting to recenter the glider in the box for this 2-point roll. So much tricky stuff on that figures 2, 3, 4, all that downwind. That's a lot of stuff to try and pack in on a day like today. And 2 points just from just to the right of the judges as we get set up for the quarter clover, right center box. Quarter roll on the up. Going to come right at us for this looping portion.
Oh, should you have driven that farther?
I think so, but you know, I'm not in that cockpit. They may have some external factors there that we just don't know about. They started that roll
on the upline.
I think a bit early on that, but I'm not a grading judge in this. And now we have the reverse wedge, 45 up, half roll, pull vertical down.
I think you're right. I think the quarter roll was on the upline, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did appear to be on the upline, needed to be on the downline, but we'll just have to see what the judges thought of that one. As Daniel completes his sequence here. Thank you very much for coming out and flying. Daniel all the way from the United Kingdom, coming to Salina, Kansas to compete in the glider category. Wind on the surface
is picking up.
I don't have any wind socks, and I'm having a hard time. I think it's just straight south now, down here.
The last METAR was an hour old, but I can check another one. So let's see. METAR is 65 minutes old. I'll see if I can get that to refresh. But it was 180 at 11 knots. Oh, okay, just updated. 5 minutes ago, 180 at 11 knots.
Okay.
But it's the winds aloft that are really screeching, especially at 3,000, where it's about 207 at 27 knots. And that's pretty consistent with what we had estimated based on our observation of what's happening to these gliders, especially. A little bit of a break.
Looks like we'll have
Correction,
Casey next.
one power remaining. Correction,
No.
one glider.
One glider
remaining.
4 power.
4 power remaining. Casey Siebel, Steve Johnson, Philip Gregg, Trevor Smith, Justin Miller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 glider, 5 power remaining. Casey Siebel, I hear an engine, is flying the Game Composites GB1 Game Bird. He's very new to competition. Just started in about 2-3 years ago. In his Game Bird, has made really rapid progress with professional coaching.
Matthew, yes, if you come in hangar 509, pilots will be milling about, walking around. Almost everybody that you're going to see is an aviator out here today.
Hear that 580 Lycoming engine winding up, the 4-blade
do.
composite prop. GB1 made by Game Composites, or is it Game Aerospace?
Game Aerospace now.
Game Aerospace now, because I think they're branching out into some other fields.
Yes, there's also swag available for purchase, Matthew. There is a shop in the hangar. It's in the west hallway. That's about as best as I can describe it. And we do have an IAC shop available there.
Okay. All right, Casey Siebel coming into the box. Figure 1, 45 entry hammer. Still a pretty featureless judging background against this gray airplane against the blue sky. Does make it a little challenging. Gonna pivot. We got a good view of the pivot on the knife edge.
Right center box there.
And half roll and out to the left upwind. Drive it in, drive it into the wind. There's no boundary judges. You might as well drive it right to the, or a little bit past the box marker, considering the way the winds are.
Yeah.
And 2 out of 4 on the down line.
Another big float over the top of that figure.
Okay, he's past center box now. Get ready for figure 3, the Immelman. Half roll off the top. And set your power and get your target speed for the snap roll.
Even though Casey came out of that last figure with a lot of speed, he still was able to place figure 3, that half loop up. Half roll really nicely. That was a wicked fast snap.
Yeah, that was a nice snap. All right, figure 5, 2 of 4, half loop down. That was truly a flick roll, wasn't it? Figure 6, center box is the Humpty. Put your feet in the direction of travel. Loop, half loop to the east towards us. Set the down line. Oh, what a lot of drift, 30 knots up there. And off to the west. A couple of ticks for your judges to give their score, and then pull up on the half square loop up. Lay out inverted. 90-degree inverted turn. Drop that left wing toward the earth and push. And wings level. Drive it into the wind to get ready for figure 9 is the bow tie. Drive it. 45-degree down line, 2 of 4, 1, 2, and pull around, vertical line.
Little bobbles, nice crispy stops there from Casey.
Short radius, pull over, set the line. This half roll is a simple half roll, no points. And out to our right. Center box, hammerhead, quarter roll up, put your head in the direction of travel. That's the west.
Hear the power come off there as he doesn't want to drive that vertical too high. Make sure he gets that line length.
Keeping it more compact.
Yeah.
And down the rolling turn. Lots of control authority there.
Really nice flight, Casey. That should score very solidly with the judges.
You were talking a little bit yesterday about the transition of an experienced extra driver to a game bird. How many hours of duel do you think somebody would need it to transition into a game bird if they had at least a couple hundred hours in a 300L?
Oh, 10 hours to transition into it, but about 150 to 200 hours to master the aircraft. To really get good performance out of it. But just getting into it, like,
I only had 1 hour.
yeah, I mean, but did you go through all the failure modes and emergency modes and all that kind of stuff? Like that's what I think of when I talk about an aircraft checkout. You know, I'm looking for every way that this airplane can hurt me. I want to have seen it in training with somebody who's experienced, so that way, if it does ever happen to me, it's not the first time I'm seeing it. I can actually fall back on previous experience to put the airplane in a place to have a successful outcome.
A good thing. I had a chance to safety pilot for a friend who was out of medical for a while, and I got 1 hour transition training in the Game Bird, and then we went off to fly it. I thought it was fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Given my experience in the extra, but you're right. I mean, a good transition program should be longer.
Oh, and also if you're transitioning in a new airplane, stay high.
Yes.
Stay high.
Well,
Altitude is life insurance.
We did stay high. We were only doing Sportsman level figures.
Yeah.
Next up is Steve Johnson in the MX2.
Speaking of MX and transitions, I was transitioning this last week to an MX aircraft, and before I was down low in the 656-foot floor of the aerobatic box for advanced, I was practicing up at 5,000 feet and making sure that if the aircraft did anything that was surprising or caught me off guard, that I had lots of room to recover.
Well, this is the first MX we've seen in this category. Steve's been flying this MX2 for a long time and formerly competed in the advanced category. And like a lot of pilots, as they get along in their career, they decide to drop back down. I did. I only competed, I think, 3 seasons in advanced before coming back to intermediate for a couple of years before I retired from competition entirely. Well, I wouldn't say I'd retired from competition entirely. I may fly a contest again someday, but I haven't for the past 7 seasons. Here comes Steve.
Steve Johnson wagging in that beautiful MXS. MX2 gonna set the 45 upline for this hammer as he drives the center box here. Looks like he's about 1,500 feet, just about 300 feet above the bottom of the box. MX2 has a lot of performance, able to generate a lot of altitude and even climb throughout this entire sequence. So he can start at the bottom and comfortably work his way up in altitude as he kicks for the pivot here. Comes downhill and goes for the half roll. Lots of performance means you're going up quite a bit on those verticals, which also means the wind has a lot of opportunity to move you throughout that box as it drives the airplane back to the left of the judges, sets the vertical line again, and now comes all the way back. He was on the left side of the box. He is now center box. That's how far the wind has moved him, just in that vertical line. 2-point rolling down, coming back to level, now far right side of the box as he does the half loop up, half roll on top. Half roll, and now sets up for the full spin. Oh, sorry, not spin, snap.
No, spin on the line.
It is a spin on the line. Same control inputs, just a lot faster. Good snap there. Now control the energy from push down bow tie 204 on the down. And he just did the 204 up top. Am I wrong? I'm wrong. It's a 204. It's not the bow tie. It's a half loop down. And now he gets set up for the full Humpty. So Steve's still doing everything right. Don't panic, everybody. Alice, he's doing great. She's over in the scorer's room. And hopefully they have the volume off on the TV. They're not listening to me. They're just watching. But I do know that it's being broadcast in there. Steve pulling back to the west here, going away from the judges, getting set up for the half square loop up. More wind blowing, pull back level, 90-degree competition turn. Don't have to make that vertical very long. Leave yourself some energy to go right into this maneuver because we do have an on-judge wind. Stop the turn. Back to the level, inverted flight. We'll pull down for the bow tie this time. 204 on the down line. 1, 2. That power change. He's messing with lever A. Nothing wrong with that one. He's got an excess amount of power and performance in his airplane. And he didn't want to get too low. Now he drives the airplane all the way back up before pulling around for the 45 down, inverted half roll to upright. 3, 2, 1, there it is. And pull level now into the hammerhead with the pull on the up. far right of the judges now. So much wind in the box. Kick for the pivot. Looked like it just hung in the air there. Really nice pivot. And pull level. I think I hear the power coming off for the roller here. 90-degree, one to the inside. That one to the inside is indicative of you're rolling and turning in the same direction. If it was to the outside, he would be rolling one way but changing heading.
Rolling away from the direction of the turn.
Nice job,
nice,
Steve. Alice, sorry. No, great job, Steve.
3 more power remaining. Philip Craig, Trevor Smith, Justin Miller.
That's like the 4th time I've apologized to Alice today. I was late for the brief. I was late for the bus.
I was late for the bus. I was barely on time for the brief. Ignacio got me up. I think it's the first time somebody's gotten me up earlier than I expected. I'm usually the one that's getting other people up.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed. I said, get up, Doc. You're going to be late for the brief. So we got there. I got there on time, but I was a little late getting to the bus.
I see a glider on base. Makes me think we're going to see a glider here.
An MDM Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Nicholas Gierach in the MDM Fox, our last glider of the series, a intermediate unknown. And as we've seen, this unknown has some tricks to it. At least one pilot has turned in the wrong direction, zeroed some figures, and the wind on the surface is picking up.
Yes, it's probably 15-20 knots.
Sorry for the rattling papers, but not much we can do. We're just men out standing in our field. We can't control the wind. Got any other stupid jokes?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. Let's have some questions about aerobatics and aerobatic aircraft. Come on, guys, on the live chat. Let's hear it. You got all this knowledge and expertise. What was it, about 40, 50 years of combined experience? Aviation, we can, or aerobatics, we can share.
It might actually be 75 to 80 years of aerobatic knowledge and experience just between the two of us.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Come in on the live chat. No question is too trivial. Is that a high altitude aircraft or is that our glider?
No, the glider's to the left.
Is he off tow?
Yes, he is on final.
Tow. He is on final. Okay. All right. Nicholas.
Well positioned.
Nicholas Gierach. Note the y-axis entry. Yes, he is coming in on the y-axis. He's diving right at us. Getting ready for his hammerhead. Hammerhead with a quarter roll on the down line. Should be easy to turn in the correct direction.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, it's going. It's going. Wow.
Oh, almost didn't want to pivot on
That
it.
must be scary. You put your foot in and nothing happens.
Yep. Turning into the wind. Finished figure 1. Figure 2, drive it, drive it. You've got a downwind spin. There's no boundary judges. Drive that to the south before doing the Immelman. Picking up some speed, as you said, some smash, some kinetic energy. Lift is the product of airspeed and angle of attack, right? You need that airspeed. Nice Immelman. Now he's got to slow down for the spin. Hopefully drop that close to the center of the box.
Pretty much everybody who's done that half roll has dropped the nose at the end, and I think the airplane, the glider, picks up several knots, which is not helping them position this. But everybody's done it, so maybe it's a normal operation.
I think that's one of the better spin positions we've seen.
Yep.
Setting the down line, building up speed, getting ready for the half Cuban. Some of these half Cubans have been in Nebraska, but this one is
This one is not, yeah.
See.
This looks like it's actually in the box.
Back half roll, continue the line. Okay, drive it to the south. Put that 2-point roll right over the judge's head, over the chief judge's tent.
You mentioned Nebraska to the north. This is also a geography lesson, I guess, in the live stream.
One of the many feed things we offer. I said somebody was doing it on their way to Abilene, but Abilene's actually to
And northeast.
East, I think.
Northeast.
Okay, there's the 2-point roll.
There's one.
One.
There's two.
Does he have enough speed? Okay, he's got, now he has to do enough of a descending line, he can get ready for a looping maneuver. Looping maneuvers require a lot of kinetic energy, right?
And this is very far to our left, but not out of the box, surprisingly. And seeing everything we've seen with the wind so far, this is really, really good positioning.
Okay. Quarter roll on the up, brings him to the east. And the second quarter clover, the quarter roll is on the down line. I think we saw somebody reverse that, didn't we?
Yes, we suspect that that is the case.
Suspect that's the case. Okay, now he has to roll such that he comes out back to the north, to our right. Only one figure remaining. So this has been positioned farther to the south than any glider we've seen to date. Today. Allows him to do the reverse wedge. Yeah, really good position for judging. Pulls level, and that ends the figure and ends the sequence.
Really well flown, Nicholas. That was excellent. And Melissa Courtney asks, why are gliders always white with no jazzy paint scheme? Anytime you're adding paint, you're adding weight.
Yeah, also they're almost all composite, aren't they?
Yeah.
And composites are very heat sensitive. So, you know, the first few years they were making those Cirruses, you could get any color you wanted as long as it was white.
Good old Model T quote.
Yeah, maybe a couple of accent stripes. But now you see them in silver, and you see them even some bright colors.
Oh, there's some very fancy paint schemes.
But they still have to have a very high reflectivity.
Yeah, anytime you're going dark paint on a composite, you need to have a whole lot of metal flake in there to reflect that energy out.
And my Extra has a heat sensor in the front seat on the most inboard wing rib on either side. And I think some of the new composite aerobatic airplanes actually have thermocouples in the wing linked to the G3X to show structural overheat warning. Have you seen that?
I
think the Game
I have
Bird,
not personally.
I think the Game Bird has that. A couple more power flights remaining. Philip Gregg, Trevor Smith, and Justin Miller, but we're done with the gliders.
Matt Morrissey cheering on Philip Gregg.
Matt Morrissey? Oh.
Yeah, look at that.
Greg from Great Plains. Give us our regards to John and Linda. I've not seen Matt in competition for some time. He's the son of the great John Morrissey.
Yeah,
Great Plains Aerobatics.
I am going to take your word on it. I haven't had the opportunity to work with John other than on the judges line in 2019.
Yeah. Well,
all right, Philip looks like he's diving into the box high and slightly right as the wing wags. He's coming down from the stratosphere, flying a Pitts S2A, bit underpowered.
So he's starting high.
He's going to use all of that altitude to his advantage as he pulls to the 45 just left of Judge's center. And vertical. Wind blows him back towards the center, not quite there yet. Hammerhead pivot, set up the vertical down. Still not back to center, which is good, and a half roll. All the way in the back of the box. I presume he's going to take any Y figures towards us and use that towards on Judge wind to blow him back in as well. He pulls the vertical here and by around for the 45 down, 204 on the down. 1, 2, super clear points from all the competitors so far today. Doing a great job. Half loop up and to the Immelman. All out of energy. Now he's got lots of box to work with. Gain speed, get ready for the snap. Just right of Judge's center with that snap. Good looking snap, it's around really quick. Not quite as fast as the Game Birds, but fast, precise, crisp. Well flown, looking for the 204 here. There's 1, 2, half loop down. Nice patience here, working against that wind, not pulling a bunch of G. Really solid radius, hard pull here down on the bottom to make that radius continue. That was well done. Quarter roll on the up of this pull Humpty. Gonna take it away initially before coming back to the judges just now, coming to center box. just right of center. Pulling into the half square loop up. About 150, 200 feet right of center. And capping off. Now wind moved him about 300 feet. 90-degree competition turn, finishing that just at center box. Getting ready for a 45 down. Lots of nose up there as the airplane digs its way out of that slow speed turn and moves across the box from right to left. Pull 45 down, 204, 1, 2. Build and smash, go back to the vertical. No issues with altitude here so far for Philip. Philip, no stranger to competition. Pulling around on the 45, half roll to uprights. Maybe a bit shallow on that. We'll see what the judges think of it. Pull vertical quarter roll up. And just that very brief pause there is about 600 feet right of center. Now 7, now 8, now 9. Like it's an amazing amount of wind blowing him all the way to the edge of the box. But this leaves him lots of room to do that 90 roller 1 to the inside. Lots of nose up there. That almost looked like a quarter clover. Interesting. Interesting. But that's going to do it for Philip in the unknown category. Well done. Well flown, Philip.
Philip Gregg in the Pitts S2A. Oh, we had a shout out from Matt Morrissey at Great Plains Aerobatics. And interestingly enough, his father John flies the S2A.
Oh, wow. John has flown some really awesome airplanes. Aviation career. And also an incredible coach. He's coached a lot of members of the advanced and unlimited competitors.
And his wife, Linda Myers Morrissey, was instrumental in getting me into aerobatics. We were at Purdue together. She was in the design program with my wife, Carol. I followed her career in national and international competition, and she was a good source of advice and mentorship when I went to get my first aerobatic airplane.
As we await Trevor Smith in the Extra NG, we just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Extra, Aura Aero, Game Aerospace, MX Aircraft Company, the Northwest Insurance Company, and the American Champion Aircraft Corporation. Thank you very much for sponsoring the 2025 U.S. National Aerobatic Championships out here in Salina, Kansas.
The next aircraft coming up is the only Extra NG in the contest. NG stands for Next Generation. We've seen the MX, which is all composite. We've seen the Game Bird, which is all composite. And now Extra is making an all composite competition and training airplane, the NG. 2-seat, 315 to 330 horsepower with the Lycoming IO 580 composite propeller. I think it comes stock with the MT propeller, although my partner on the decathlon has a Extra NG, and he switched it out to the Hartzell propeller. But great performer, and very different in the interior than the 300L. 300L is tubes and wires and conduits and levers and bolts and nuts, and you get into the NG, and it's just everything is smooth.
Yes, like much more refined cockpit.
Like a composite bathtub. A good performer and great fast cross-country traveling airplane.
And comfortable in the winter.
Yeah.
Good heat.
A good heater, yeah. So makes it for a comfortable touring airplane in addition to competition. All right. Here comes Trevor. Trevor Smith in the Extra NG. First figure, 45 entry hammer. There's the 45.
That is 2,700 RPM.
Drive it into the wind. I keep mine pulled back to 2,500. How much horsepower do you think you lose between 2,500 and 2,700?
25.
25 horsepower?
Yeah.
I want to protect my engine. I don't really feel that much limited by the horsepower. It's more of a finesse. Out to the left, figure 2. Drive it into the wind, the wedge. And tip down. down to the 45 down line, looking for a 2-4, centered on the down line. 1 and 2. Out to our right, downwind.
Those were quite crisp.
Figure 3 and 1. Yes, it has ailerons like the SC almost, I think, with those counterbalances.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Snap roll center box. My partner on the decathlon, who has the NG, sometimes flies my L, and he always comments how much different the aileron feel is. 2-4 on the down line, 2-4, and then half loop down.
He might have an issue.
How's that?
Didn't see a point there.
Humpty bump, quarter roll up, and half loop towards us. Takes him to the west to get ready for figure 7, half square loop up. Layout inverted. He is getting blown quite a bit towards the north. Okay, 90-degree inverted turn. Left wing down, push. Okay, coming across the box, inverted.
The wind has definitely not decreased.
Yeah, tip down, 2-4. No relief from the wind today. Hold a vertical.
Just now center box on that vertical.
Tip down on the 45 and half roll. Quarter roll up on this hammerhead.
Far off to our right now, our edge of the box.
And when he pulls out, he's got one figure left. That's the 90-degree rolling turn.
You can hear the powers way back. Big braking action from that propeller. Able to really control that energy.
And wing wagon, he's done.
End of figure.
End of figure, end of sequence.
End of category. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
We got one more.
Oh, we got one more?
One more.
Oh, there's one that wasn't added.
Oh, I got Trevor Smith here still on the order flight.
Oh, Justin Miller's up. Yeah, we haven't seen the Toxic Stinker.
Justin Miller. All right, one more, folks. Justin Miller is an experimental biplane.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The Toxic Stinker.
Yeah, modified pits.
So, where did they get that name? Was it the Little Stinker and then the
Little Stinker,
the Super Stinker,
Super Stinker,
and then the Toxic Stinker?
Yeah.
I don't know the lineage of the Stinkers. That would be Justin Miller. Do we have any questions on the live feed?
No, it's been pretty quiet.
No relief from the wind out here. It's picked up. If anything, it's picked up. And one more flight, and we've got to change over to the Unlimited. I'm judging Unlimited, which is going to be a challenge if we're going to stay on this judges station. Forrest, do you know if we're going to stay out here for Unlimited? We're moving? Going to the east side, to the west side. So I'll have to get up and I will have to get into the buses, move over to the other side for the Unlimited.
Yes, and we do have 2 judges lines on the national championships here in the morning when the sun is rising. Because we're starting so early, we don't want the judges staring into the sun. We line up on the east side of the box, and then in the afternoon, as the sun is going down in the west, we move the judges to the west side so the sun is to our backs. And if we need to, if the winds demand it, we do have a southern position that we can be in, as Justin is wing wagging into the box, coming in that green and black Super Stinker, bringing the power. That's 27, maybe 2,800 RPM. That is a ripping propeller. 45 up, sets the vertical line, and we watch the wind blow from left to right. Comes up for the pivot, and puts that right in front of the judges. Starting the airplane on the vertical down line, looking for that half roll. Good half roll, good line length after. Nicely flown figure, putting it into the wind here. Getting ready for figure 2, the wedge. 204 on the down line. .45 down, 1, 2, 204 out, exit right, half loop up Immelman. Good float over the top, maintaining the radius. Nice stopping of the pitch, starting of the roll there. That was a really nicely flown figure by Justin. We have our full snap. Looked like he went to the right there. I couldn't quite tell. That was the Toxic Stinker paint scheme is tricky. 1, 2, 204, half loop down, right in the center box. Could use a little more patience. Quarter roll on the up and a pull over the top for the hammerhead. He's going to get a real good look at the north boundary of the box as he's on this vertical down line. And pull in, flying away, getting himself some spacing away from the judge's line. A little bit of on-judge wind today. Half square loop up, finishes cap and roll for the 90-degree inverted competition turn. Now we'll see if Justin wants to go straight into figure 9, the bow tie, or if he wants to drive it into that wind. Looks like we're going to go right away. 204, 1, 2. And pulling vertical just left of center box. Now the wind is blowing him to the right, back to center box. And judges right now, half roll upright. And level pull into the hammer with the quarter roll up. He's already all the way over to the north edge of the box. That's how much wind there is in the box today, how challenging it is to place these figures exactly where the competitor wants it to be. As he does the hammerhead, looks down at soybean field and pulls a level for the roller here. 90-degree, 1 to the inside. Send it, Justin. And over top of our head here as he finishes the roller, wing wagon out. End of figure.
End of sequence.
End of category.
End of category.
Thank you for joining us here.
End of live commentary.
Matthew Morrissey says, we flew Stinkers serial number 001 built by Curtis to win the 1997 Advanced World Aerobatic Championships. Outstanding.
Outstanding.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends. If you didn't, tell your enemies. And make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the International Aerobatics Club on YouTube. We'll be back later today with the Unlimited and the Sportsman here on the International Aerobatics Club. I'm Rob Doomvik with Spread Aviation.
I'm Jeff Granger with Pilot Makers.
Take care and fly awesome.